planet Earth, Milky Way galaxy. I've been working on a song called Chicago. It's actually going quite well. What's up? Give me a sec, give me a sec. Yo, what's up, buddy? What's up?
What was it that you used to do? You remember that? When we were younger, what the hell was it? You used to be like, you'd go like this and you'd like raise your voice. You'd be like, you go like this, man, every time, and what the hell was it that you used to say? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Oh, it's too funny, man.
Fuck, I'm looking good today, huh? Damn.
Actually, yeah, man. You got that Saturday.
Bad, actually.
You got that Saturday Clinton energy.
I think I do. Got a little bit of Saturday Clintons, like Saturday morning cartoon. Remember those days, man?
Oh well, I remember people talking about those days. I don't really remember those days. Though.
Were you not one of those kids that did that? Do you ever remember doing that stuff or
no? I mean a little bit, but I felt like I think I heard more about it from my mom. You know, like if you think about it, like when I was a kid, similar to your mom actually. You know, my mom was quite
they're like
young.
the same age, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are. But they were but let's just think about what age this would have been, right? Like, so we're about 1.5 years different or something.
Right.
We're talking. What like when you think about Saturday morning cartoons? What age do you think you were when you reflect on that?
I'm thinking like. Hold on here, I gotta pause. Loud. So I'm thinking like. Gosh. Do you want me to state when I first remember, or more when I feel like I did it most often?
No, I'm just.
Because there's a difference. Wait, what happened to your mic, bro? You got really quiet all of a sudden.
In my back.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been able to figure out how to use my good mics for this stupid shit. It's so annoying. It's like
most people, they have them pulled up.
I know,
they
but I'm saying oh, really? Is that how you use a microphone? Jesus. Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
But I mean, you were talking about it, and then you didn't have it by your mouth, and so I don't know if you were trying to make it work, and then you didn't want it be in the picture. So I was getting more to the point it's fine just to have it up by your mouth, man. I mean, you sound good either way, you know. The voice carries, you know what I mean? We got men voices, so it's you got that little bit of bass to it. You know what I mean? We got that.
No, but dude, the thing is, if I could hook up this mic, you would hear my voice like you've never heard it before. You'd be like,
oh, I believe it.
Shit, what the? I didn't know that frequency was in there.
Have you not messed with it to hook it up for that stuff yet?
No, but it is hooked up. I was literally just using it on a song idea, and I can Zoom was actually telling me because I think it saw me do this, and then it was like, oh, if you want to set up professional audio, which is weird, but maybe it said that to you too.
I really have been wanting to get a nice microphone like that, or one that's for strictly your voice, not necessarily music, because I know they make all kinds of different ones for that add different textures and all this other stuff. Your voice,
but there's the standard podcast mic.
Well, curious though, what would you? Because you do all this stuff, and I've looked into them and stuff. What would you recommend? Just for obviously nothing super fancy, but nothing shitty, but a mid-range one or something that would be decent. Do you have any recommendations?
In all honesty, at this point in 2025, if you get what's your budget? You can throw any number, doesn't matter.
I was thinking because I initially wanted to do it, so I'll give you a little background anyways, because I was gonna do it initially for voice acting type stuff, because the mic I have now, obviously I don't even have a mic. It was just my headset mic, and I've tried doing that stuff on there, and obviously it's terrible because it doesn't pick up any of like rasp or tone or any sort, when you do it. So I was like looking something for more along the lines of like that would pick up all the depth and breadth of a voice and certain, undertones and things like that. But I was thinking like anywhere between like starting at like $500 up to like $1,500, like top,
I would say
if
for
it was worth it.
Here's what I would say. Any good, okay, you have basically two types of mics that you would buy. One is a condenser. Right. And the condenser, all you have to think about this, just forget all the technical stuff.
Because I've looked into it and I don't really remember, but you have experience, and experience kind of outweighs the, being like, oh yeah, this is the mic you should get type of deal when you read it, No,
but I don't like when people do that, and I think like the same thing applies here as it does for music, which is a lot of people think like, oh, if I get the right mic, suddenly I'm gonna be, my song will be better or whatever. Same thing with the voice acting, whatever. Obviously, though, there is a certain standard and level of quality that would be very good, would be good to have. Here's what I will say. Right. Think about it this way, because when you're looking, all you need to think about now in your brain is like when you're Googling or whatever for mics, condenser or dynamic. Condenser or dynamic. Right here, I have a condenser mic. Now, I'll make this very simple. When I use this mic, if the room around me is not silent, it will pick that up. It picks up everything. I mean, it's like it takes in all the sound. Okay. But here's the flip side of this. What you were just talking about, like if you were a really like a high-end voice actor, you would be using a condenser, because it would be like every single nuance of your voice will get picked up. It'll be like every frequency, whatever. Here is more of like a dynamic mic. And
look at them whipping out mics. What you got? Bro's got mics up above you too, just dangling. Here you go. No. Oh, dude, if you would have pulled one out from the top, like you pulled that second one out, and then you're like, hold on, check this one out. I'd have been like, okay, dude.
And then from the bottom, like,
hold on, I'm just not done yet. And then you pull up the other one with your other arm from the top on the opposite side. Hold on.
I start pulling them up with my feet, like, oh. Like I'm going.
You reach behind your back. You have one like slyly hidden somewhere.
Or like a sword, like. Dude, have you seen this one? And then like I stand up like holstered. I also have this mic.
The fucking king of mics. Okay, though, in all seriousness.
Look, this is what I just said. Here we go.
Yep. So the dynamic mics, are those the ones that are they only pick up?
Yes, these are the ones that they don't look like this because this is for stage, but it's the exact same thing. Everybody you see on podcasts where they have like the Joe Rogan kind of style mic, that is a particular mic. You've probably already found it before, but it's a Shure whatever. I can't remember which model. But whatever it looks like, that's a dynamic mic. So this one is not going to pick up as much of a range, but for most purposes, it's going to get your whole voice.
For we podcasts and stuff, then what do we want? You want the dynamic one then?
Yeah, this would be fine. This would be great if you knew that there was going to be basically no background noise, which is also fine. I mean, you can accept that, but it's overkill for that purpose.
Okay. How much were those? Pretty expensive, those mics? How much was that condenser one that you have?
That's like a classic. That's like a standard. That one is expensive, but it's like
how much was it?
It's one of those things that will never go down in value. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if you buy this is what I've been thinking, like taxes.
How much did you pay for it?
No, but hold on, let me tell you something.
Give me the brass tacks here.
Taxes are so high in Sweden that but hold on. If you have a company, so let's say that all of our music royalties when they come in, they have to be filtered in through a corporate entity, a company, right?
Yep.
And then we have to have our own company, and then basically we have to take a salary from our company. So we have to so it's still like we have to decide how much actual income there is, and then but the company, all the extra money, like anything we don't take as salary, which when we take a salary it gets taxed at like almost 50% because we live in Sweden. So most of the money we want to keep in the company. And the thing is, the company can buy anything related to music without paying extra tax. So it's not like it's income to us; it's an expense.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? So we're incentivized to if we know that we're going to have a little left over in the company, it's better for us to spend it on something before the end of the tax.
Right.
Because otherwise, we'd get
I
taxed
see
on
that.
it.
That's
You see what
why,
I mean?
that's why, people, that do, they do donations and stuff like that. I suppose it's extra money that they have, and to help not be taxed on it, right?
Yeah, but no, but forget the
part of it.
donations, because that's like.
No, I know. I'm just saying
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
right.
way to reduce your tax or
Yeah,
whatever.
but
is what I get
you're
at.
still, like, when you're doing donations, you actually are basically giving up that money. I'm talking about, it's better to, in some cases, it's especially in Sweden, it's better to try to spend the money that your company is making than to at the end of the year have it suddenly taxed. Like, oh, your company had all this money left over, now you're going to get taxed on it. So it's better to like zero it out and like, oh, if we have extra money at the end of the year, let's buy an expensive microphone or something, like, because we can't spend it on groceries because it's company money. You see what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, So yeah, all I'm trying to say is like, I spent way more on this microphone than I would ever spend like as a private person. This was pure like tax evasion, and like
how much was it?
I don't know.
Bro, I spent $6,000 on my computer.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's a good point. Thank you for saying that.
Give me a break. Like, I don't care. I'm just curious, just because I know I see you have it all the time, and I know it's probably not a cheap mic.
No, that makes me feel a lot better. So this right now you can buy for about $3,000.
Wow. That's cool though, but yeah, that's for a mic. That's wild.
Yeah, but you know what the thing about this
mic
is,
cool,
though?
I love stuff like
it's
that.
literally made in Germany. It's one of the oldest microphone brands in existence.
They make great audio quality. German.
Dude.
Well, what is it? What do you mean? You always hear the old like phrase or whatever, like good old German engineering type of deal.
German engineering, yeah. Which unfortunately can wreak havoc on the world if given the chance. But it's
that's what we got the Gestapo for. So.
Exactly, like, yeah, they're very good at engineering things, but they don't know when to stop. They just keep engineering like final solutions and whatnot. So it's like, you got to put a little check on them.
Well, at least they're not like China. At least they put out quality fucking products, and they just don't spit it out when it comes out, and it's like, oh, it doesn't work in a week, or it's trash anyways, and just refurbished from like kids' toenails or something.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but you're not wrong. That's the thing. You're not. Yeah, as the kids say, no lie detected or whatever. I like that one.
I haven't heard that.
Dude, I'm a nerd for like following up on like the zeitgeist, like, because I don't use the terms, but I like to know what they are.
Do you just mean? Are you talking about? That's one I haven't heard, but are you just talking about like the new language basically that's been developed by like the young generation? Yes. Yeah, I hear Cyprin say all the time. The new one yesterday, which I hadn't heard yet up until after I heard him say it. I heard a couple other people say it too. But
that's how it always is, right?
You
hear it and you hear it everywhere.
Yeah, I was sitting around, and then he's like, "What did he say?" He's like, "That's the only motion you get." And he was like referring to like a woman or something, and I was like, "What?"
Fuck,
and I
dude,
said, "What do you mean
that's
motion?"
Bro, you're hearing it like you're hearing it at the proto stage. I'm just getting the things after they filter through like the culture a little bit.
I hear this shit at like ground level, man.
That's crazy.
Like,
you're at ground
like,
zero for this shit right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like what is it? Fucking who is it to Major Tom? That's what I'm hearing it from. Is it Ground Zero to Major Tom?
Yes, go on,
bro.
Go on.
That's all I know.
You know what's funny? One time we should do as just for a fun thing, but I can't promise a timeline because I'm really I work very slowly. But you should send me like an audio sample where it's like you want me to put it into a mix. And I will create a little song where whatever you send me, but I will need time. It might happen you might send me.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm just warning you though. You might send me something and then I send you something back 5 years later. Just saying 5 years later.
What kind of snippet do you want?
No, but I'm saying whatever. I'm saying you'll know when the snippet comes. And now is not the time because I'm not recording, you're not recording. I mean, I am recording this conversation, but I'm not going to go back to this and sample this. I'm saying one day...
Ground Zero to Major Tom. It's not Ground Zero. What is it? I know it's not Ground Zero to Major Tom because that doesn't make any sense because they're up in the air.
Ground Zero. Actually, that's kind of a nice twist, though. It gives it a little bit of like a updated sci-fi twist, right? Like now it's not just now the station's it's fucked. So now it's Ground Zero, and Major Tom's still floating around up there, and it's like Major Tom.
Major Tom just running around aimlessly. Guys.
He's fucking Matt Lollian up there, dude.
Somebody there?
No, he's Matt.
It's like just in a void.
Bro, he's either... Okay, here's the thing. Is Major Tom in this scenario Matt Lolly or Billy Fletcher?
I'm thinking Billy Fletcher's in this scenario. And, like, Matt Lolly is just, like, in the sidelines, but he's just, like, peeking around, like, just looking around with his beady-ass eyes, being creepy. And you got, like, Billy Fletcher, like,
Excuse me. Is anybody there?
Major Billy.
Be like... Tom Billy.
Sing Ground Zero to Major Billy.
Ground Zero to Major Billy.
Now he's responding.
Guys, what are you doing over here?
Oh
Somebody out there?
And now Matt Lolly is like wondering what Billy's responding
to. Do you want to hear a Billy story?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because I was just hanging out with Matt.
Is it a recent one, or is it...
Literally last night I heard the story, and it's recent with Billy. So he's sitting there, he said he's in Duluth at a club, like a nightclub, whatever. Bar, club, he calls it a club, and I'm assuming he was at a club, because there's a difference, right? So he's like, I'm at this... God, I'm sitting there. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah. He was at this club in Duluth.
Yeah.
And he said he was sitting there, he was, by himself or whatever, and he went to the club. He had gotten a couple drinks, or had gotten a drink, and he went to sit down at, I don't know if he was at the bar, or if he sat down somewhere in the bar or whatever, regardless. Anyways, he went to sit down, he was sitting down for a bit, drinking his beer, and he said this random chick, like, walked by him and then, like, turned around and, like, turned to him, and she's like, do you want a blowjob? And he's like, well, yeah, whatever. And so, like, they go outside or whatever into her pickup that she had, and she just gave him this random blowjob, and then, like, they finished, and she was all like, hey, so you're coming back, right? And Billy's like, yeah, I'll probably come back here, whatever. And so he told her, yeah, I'm coming back, whatever. And she's like, oh, okay. He never got her number, never got any contact information from her, nothing. He's like, yeah, I'll be back. Of course, he never went back or whatever, but I don't know. So it's a little story, but it's just like a typical Billy story.
I just love the fact, that's actually a great story. But here's the thing, Billy, like, can you believe that he, like, everything that he did after high school,
My God,
totally tracks. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally expected. For instance, he would become a Muay Thai fighder, and have his glory days in a town called Fuck It. It was literally called Fuck It.
Dude, do you know what Billy, Billy is to us now? He is our own personal meme.
I know.
Like, literally, the things Billy says and Billy does, things that Billy has done and will do, is all memes.
I know.
Like, he is a walking meme, and I don't even mean it.
But you know what it is? You know what it is also? It's weens. It's weens. He's our own walking ween, dude. He's a meme and a ween. Like, he's a ween meme. He can't be a ween and
really is Billy really a ween though? That's pretty significant. I mean, that's kind of a, putting him in. I mean, a lot of things are weens, bro.
Well, no, but fundamentally everything is weens. So I mean, what do we do about that? You know what I'm saying?
He's a ground zero ween.
Yeah, he is, and he's, it's rare to be both ween and meme, and I don't know, man.
He's next level weens.
Oh, here's the thing: it's weird to be weens, memes, and not mean, except when in between the green and the spleen. You know what I'm saying? And that's
it shines off the spleen from the cream queen that is lean, like so many other scenes from the dream.
So many themes. Is that what
so
you
many
said?
Weens.
Did you say themes?
No, but you did. You went off of themes. I said dreams, and then I said something about a scene, and then you played off of it that made sense.
No, I said
you described
no,
it.
but I thought you said something else. So I think I repeated your theme. But here's the thing.
Oh.
I liked that. That should go in your track. No, but yeah, you should have like a talking verse. You know, like it's Weens on a beam. It's Weens on a beam by a tree. No, see, that's a near run.
It's Weens on a beam by a tree through the treen on the tram that's so
bland that
and
it opens a can
of sand.
Oh man,
what a sham.
Weens.
That was a great haiku. Great haiku there.
Memes.
Even though I think we missed the actual subject of the
Bro,
haiku.
imagine if Billy Fletcher becomes
here we go.
becomes the boyfriend of Billie Eilish. Like, bro, that would be like, you know, I think the universe would implode. I think that would be the apocalypse.
And it actually flows too. If she takes his last name and keeps her last name, she could be Billie Eilish Fletcher.
Or just Billy Fletcher.
Could you imagine?
Bro, and he would not even think it was weird. He would be like, yeah, that's the way it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you find your soulmate, she got the same name.
You know who would do the podcast? Or like who? Because I know you mentioned,
Billy Fletcher.
the last time that you're like, dude, we seriously find somebody that would actually come on and actually talk. Billy would do it.
He would do it. I'm gonna press Alex one more time here. I'm gonna just say we're on. This is his personality. He will always respond when he knows that there's no way to possibly join. You know what I mean? Like he will, like no matter what, he will do the he'll probably Google like what time is it in Sweden. That's probably what
He's
he
like
does.
one of those people. He's like Michael, just like antisocial and like
Yeah.
even though like they maybe feel bad about it to some extent, it's
Nah,
like
they don't feel
just
bad.
they
They
have
don't
no
feel
remorse. They're like the Terminators.
Yeah. They're just
They
cold.
can't be reasoned with.
Nah, dude. That's why I'm so glad that we're doing this, because it's like, or actually why we've kept in touch and stuff like that is, you know, you need to do that, man. You gotta do that. It's a good, like, and I try to do that with, like, anybody that's ever been, like, a good friend of mine. Despite the odds, I do try to keep in touch. Like, and, you know, it's funny because, but also it's easy to, like, get the signal that it's like, you don't want to do it the way that I can do it. So for instance, like Nick Longworth, right? I still remember. I tried FaceTime, not recording, nothing like this, sending a Zoom link, just FaceTime. And he was kind of like, I got him on the line because I still communicate with him over Facebook, and like there was times like during like the.
I honestly didn't know that you guys were like actually that good of friends.
Well, I think we're like, I would consider him like a. Yeah, but we kind of are. I mean, you know, I don't know. Like we have some.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Common elements and common stuff, and
right.
And actually, he's a kind of an interesting character. You know, like if you actually get to know that guy, he's actually just as like sort of, I guess as the kids would say, based as we are, but he just has like he has just a totally different perspective on what like.
I don't even know if they say that anymore. Cyprin, what do you guys use in replace of the word based? You know, like when somebody says you're so based.
You know what?
You know when somebody says the
or like
term
that's based.
when they're
like that is
like
based.
that's based.
Okay, dude. Yeah, but I can't take directions from Ground Zero. I mean, you got to absorb the whole zeitgeist, okay?
Well,
I'm just
like,
saying,
well, I guess nobody says it anymore. I don't know.
it's something people say, and we know what it means, and it's a very useful term. Like,
Well, what do they
it's a
say in
very-
replace of it now, Cypher?
Because nobody even ever even said that.
No, it was a thing at one point. Am I just old or what?
Nah. He's just not in on the based. He's not in on the based. It's fine.
No. He needs a
Here-
good basting.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is coming up.
That's why
But-
I said that.
Well, here's the deal. Nick Longworth is quite based, actually, but he's just got a totally different, like, weird, and like he went to, like, after high school he went to college to be like a journalist, you know. And the funny thing was, the whole way through college, he sold weed so that he didn't have any student loan debt. So he basically graduated from St. Cloud University with no debt because he sold weed, okay? And then after that, I would go to his place because I didn't hang out with him. Like, I had years where I didn't hang out with him also. And then I went down there after, like, high school, and he got a place in Minneapolis. And I went down there a few times, blah, blah, blah. And one of the first times I went down there, I was still with Greta. So it must have been 2010, maybe? because we graduated in 08, so it's probably 2010. And I'm talking to him about it, and I know this whole story about how he got through college without debt. And all of a sudden, and we're talking about, like, whatever marijuana laws and whatever, and he's like, yeah. He had this whole perspective where it was like some kid got busted recently in the news for, like, having marijuana on college campus or whatever, and he was like, yeah, throw the book at him, you know? And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? And all of a sudden, like, in this argument, he was just completely pro, like, drug laws and stuff. And I was just like, but dude, you got through college with selling weed. And he was like, yeah, but I was smart about it and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, but in principle, why would you? It doesn't make any sense. Like, you benefited from. I mean, like, what? And it was just, and I was it was interesting. It was like an interesting conversation.
Yeah, but now after you telling me that he's based. Now makes me realize that is not based.
I know that is not based, but he is more. He's way more critical. No, but I'm saying, but he's
probably the left in him, probably a little bit liberal, progressive.
Well, that's what. Well, yeah, but it's like he took a position.
They're like that though.
But hold on, and that's true, and at a certain
they
point
are. They're very hypocritical like that. But anyways, yeah, go on.
Yes, but there was a point in my childhood where I remember the right being like that as well, where it was like they were the most anti-gay, and at the same time, like, all these Republican senators were being caught in restrooms at airports with, like, dudes sucking their dicks. It was, like, very hypocritical there too. And I'm just saying that, like, I remember, like, I think things have switched. So I think, like, the right are the liberals and the left are the authoritarians now. And I think, like, when we were younger, there was a time when the right was authoritarian and the left was liberal. But now the left is authoritarian. Yeah. Like, they're the fascists, and the right is basically like freedom of speech and blah blah blah. So basically they just switched sides on the issue of that's partly how I look at it. It's more nuanced.
Well, no, I get what you're saying. I was gonna stop you and interrupt you because I wasn't agreeing with what you're saying, but I let you continue, and I'm like, oh yeah. Once you finish, or once you got where whatever, so I was like, oh, but.
Well, and I think that's also why, like,
that is weirdly. Well, I think you're right, like, to some extent, but I also think that. Because, I mean, when you talk about that stuff, and I'm not big into politics and things like that, I know, like, the basis of it and stuff, I follow it here and there. But I think now, though, I think for the most part, like what you said, yeah, certain views, like when they talk about political shit, right, it gets into, like, pro-life and, the death penalty and all this other stuff, and, like, there's certain, like, things, right, that it's like, okay, if you're pro-life or if you're not, then you're this or you're that. So with those,
that is still consistent. A lot of that is still consistent. Yeah, exactly. But that's a good point.
Like but you said, like, with the views and stuff like that, like the smaller things that
sorry, Clinton, just to interrupt you, but like, it's also just about how you're allowed to express views. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, yes, you're exactly right. I'm glad you said that. It's like there are certain dividing lines that haven't changed since we were young. Like when Dean and Deborah were watching Fox News, they were pro-life then and they're pro-life now, right? Okay.
Right.
Yes, that's a good example. But the left was, when I was young, the left was where I was looking, where I wanted to see people that were challenging the establishment, that were saying things that weren't like, it was like free speech, like the ACLU left leaning, and they used to go out and they used to send lawyers.
All right, before I lose this stock, this is gonna get my final point.
Yeah, please,
what
please.
I was gonna say now is like, yes, you're right, but I think now with all that, with like all that's going on and what's being said, I think it's more along the lines of like everybody's still left or right, but it's like the extremism part of it. Like a lot more people are like either really radically left, like now, whereas the right, like you don't see
you're casually right or you're radically left. Let's say.
Yeah, and it's
Casual,
how it kind
right,
of seems, how it kind of seems right now. Like even in my opinion, like Trump, you could probably consider him like he votes conservative, whatever. He's a bit of a radical on the right. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but casually speaking, like we put it casually, for the most part, yeah, I do. But yeah, it seems like the left now are really radical, and extreme in a lot of cases, and you see it, you do see it a lot, like in the news, like with when things aren't going the conservatives or going the right way for the Republicans, right? They're not necessarily going out and killing people and doing all these crazy things, whereas you got a lot of these people who are on the left who represent this woke culture, this LGBTQ community, and all the stuff that's associated with that, which is all very radical. But that's like all you see. Like that's all they're doing is going out and they're looting, killing ICE agents, killing politicians like Charlie Kirk. Things like that.
Charlie Kirk is more like of a conservative influencer, but yes.
That's what I meant, but yeah, I just couldn't think of the word, but yeah. So things like that, but you don't, and then some of them even celebrating it and being happy about it, and it's like you didn't see any, you might have saw Republicans, say when George Floyd died, right? You may have saw them. You never saw them congratulate. At least I never did. I'm sure there were people out there, but like when I looked at it, right, I wasn't seeing people typing in comments, "Oh boy, I'm glad he's dead." It was more along the lines of, well, he was a drug addict, he was this, he was that, yada yada yada. So they were still bashing him, but they weren't like sitting there celebrating about something, as opposed to what the left is doing with somebody who is of high standard in terms of like being an influential figure for a young America. So I don't know, it's all that stuff gets really really fluffed, and then again, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's just really weird out there. You have a lot of radical things going on, honestly, probably on both spectrums, but from what I see all over now, it's really the left that's kind of like digging themselves a hole, and it just looks bad, I guess.
No, I agree.
I don't know.
I agree, but no, I do agree. But it's, I don't know, man. It kind of seems like, I mean, as much as I sort of have this like feeling of, I do have a sort of civil war energy going on, but I also wonder like how much of that is just amplified by social media weirdness. Like, one of the things, I just gotta say one thing. The thing that I've thought about recently is like, every time something has ever happened in history, like if you saw JFK getting assassinated in the 60s.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King, whatever. But if you literally had social media back then, I think you would probably see a lot of people on any side. Like, there's always going to be maniacs out there who are going to celebrate somebody being killed. That's the one thing I have to kind of remind myself.
Yeah.
We're seeing more of it.
That, though, we see more of it. But the issue I still have with that, though, like, and I'm just comparing it to the George Floyd thing. Granted, it's different because he wasn't some figure, yada yada yada. But it's like there's a lot of people who were celebrating this death of an influential figure. Like, I'm sure back in the day, and but it's just like it's not like a few select people, like you said, where it's like, oh, you have your few maniacs. I mean, it's a majority. It's like a majority of them. It's not just like one small sector, in my opinion. There's a lot of them that do that.
Here's the thing. I have the same problem you do. Like, I did a whole little thing about this, but I'm just trying to think, like, if you really try to zoom out,
Right.
it is also like no matter what you do, you can't avoid the fact that you are still collecting a sample, because actually, if you really think about it, most people you interact with, if you ask them if they even have a TikTok account, they're gonna say no. There's a lot of people that don't even have an account to watch TikTok, and then
You're right.
That's one level, and then you have a whole nother level of people that are actually gonna go up and like put a video up. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So basically, no matter what, anything you see on social media is going to be a sample of a sample of a sample of the population.
Well, a good example of that though is like the people that don't
What
care
do you mean
as much.
a good example?
No.
Get it? Sample.
So yeah,
Good.
a good
Please
dad
go
joke
ahead.
there. Anyways,
Yeah, well.
but yeah. So a good example was like for instance, so when you're online, right, and you're looking at like certain like health conditions, or like you're gonna go take you're gonna go take a new medication or something, and you see all these horror stories of all these people who are like, oh, this happened to me, it's really bad, don't take it, I had really nasty side effects, yada yada yada. They're posting it because they're the ones that have the really bad side effects. So that's a lot of what you're going to see. You're not going to see the people posting who didn't necessarily have anything go wrong, and that's probably the majority of people. You're only going to see that small sample, that snippet of people who have had those experiences because it was bad enough where it's like, oh, I got to go post this. Whereas if you're fine, you're not going to go online and be like, oh yeah, no, it was great. Like, yeah, some people be like, oh no, you'll see it here and there, but majority of people you see saying that shit are the ones who have those bad experiences, which make that drug or that medication, look like it's worse than what it really is, type of deal. So in saying that, the people that are online and posting that and celebrating that, like you said, it's that small sample of the ones that feel really strongly about that, those things that you see are those people who are radical, and you are seeing that, because the ones that don't care either aren't following it, they don't care, or they don't feel that way, and they're not posting it because they don't feel that, extreme about it. Yeah. So that majority that you're not seeing is probably, equal to or more than the majority that is celebrating it, because you're not actually seeing it because they don't care enough to have to make a video or comment on it or this or that or what have you. So
and even if they did care enough to make a video, in theory, it's like, what are they going to do? Create an account just to make some video commenting on this? I mean, it's like the barrier to entry for most people is extremely high.
And I think also, though, even some people probably do it for some sort of shock factor to get people for this or for that.
Great point.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I do this, and I think that was a lot of them, whether or not they felt that way or not, which, I mean, to do that just for that, to chase that dragon, so to speak, is like a little pathetic, but, like if you want to put a celebratory thing on, go for it, but if you want to post a video specifically stating, okay, you're adding shock value to your thing, whatever.
I mean, the devotion just can't compete.
No, I think that's very well stated. I was slightly distracted because Alex Gilbertson wrote me back, and I kind of wanted to have him join in, but then he said, just got to work. But
you should be like, yeah, bro, what work? You mean sitting at home right now because you're too shy to join us? Clinton said, get your ass on here.
You know what's funny is he probably is working, because he's one of these guys that, like, when he moved down to Arizona, apparently he took, like, the way he worked his way to actually having money was that he took every shift that nobody else ever wanted to take. And he's probably he is that guy that will, like, work Saturdays and Sundays and holidays.
Well, yeah, but didn't you tell me too that he had some dude's car that he was supposed to, like, he only borrowed it and he took it to Arizona and then, like, never gave it back to the dude?
Yeah, I think it was Travis Larson. Yeah.
What the fuck? That's shady. I don't care what anybody says. That's a little shady, man. Come on, Alex, you're better than that.
Yeah, no, but it is. He's a bit of a hustler, dude. I mean, you know, I mean that's a little bit criminal. Like that's more of like bandit style.
If we ever get him on to talk with us in video chat or whatever, we've got to be like, or the first thing I'm gonna say is, "Oh, what's up, hustler? What you doing, boy?" Because he'll never pick up on it, but we'll know, and then I'll eventually be like, and I'll just keep throwing it out there here and there, and either until he's finally like, what? And then I'll just like,
oh my
say
god, you nailed him. You nailed the impression of Alex Gilbertson. That's a
Did
great
I?
impression.
I
Yeah,
haven't
that's
seen him in
exactly
forever, but...
No, but that's exactly what he'll do. He will do that no matter what. Like no matter what, he will do that. It may not be the first thing he
What
does.
do you mean? What do you...
He will do that. Oh my god. Dude, I gotta give you an update. Remember I told you that Kate Hanish wrote me? You know this chick that...
Oh no. Did you message her back too?
No, I
And then
never.
you had-
I never
Okay.
did. But I had this like thing where I was like, and I told Spress about this. But there was like one night where I was looking through messages. I was probably messaging you or something on Facebook because that's where she reached out to me and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was just like, huh, you know. And I just randomly was like, I clicked on her profile, and she posted this thing. And here's the thing. I want to be very clear. I'm not reading this to you as like a way of mocking her or anything. It was more of like
Right.
a confirmation of like how you can almost reverse engineer, because this is something me and Spressa talked about when she wrote. It was like you can almost imagine how she was, like how she grew up. Because the one thing I did know is that she didn't, like similar to us, she didn't really have a dad in her life. And in
Right.
girls that can manifest differently and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. And so I knew
Mhm.
that there might be some disturbed, like she was projecting things onto me, you know, blah 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 about my shadow and like something I apparently
Right.
did when we were
Right.
kids,
Yeah, I
whatever
could
it
see
was.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then this kind of show, like, so first of all, this enhances like one's compassion for why she wrote me or whatever. But it also is interesting how you can kind of almost predict. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not reading this as a way of like going ha ha because it's really fucked up. But so she writes on September 13th, and it was literally like 2 days or maybe 1 day before I was like, oh, I'm gonna click on her profile after, you know, thinking about these messages, which she wrote me like a couple months ago. Here's what it says. This is what she wrote. Trigger warning. The following text contains descriptions of child abuse and violence. Chris Hodgson Hanish, which I assume is her mom. You watched as your husband straddled me, pinned my arms to the floor with his knees, grabbed the sides of my head in fistfuls of hair, and smashed the back of my skull into the concrete until I blacked out. The last thing I remember was you screaming at me, "Look at what you're making him do, you're killing me." I was a child then, 11, the same age my daughter is now. I see how small she is, how small I was. It doesn't surprise me that you still imagine yourself the victim. You have my address, my phone number, my email. You could have contacted me privately, directly, or through a therapist. You never did. When I messaged you to explain how manipulative it is to make public posts while refusing to communicate directly, and recounted the abuse you must take responsibility for if we are ever to have a relationship, you blocked me. Now you write public posts claiming I'm attacking you. You post passive-aggressive captions under Christian memes. You write with the intention to harm and provoke while hiding it under a mask of religiosity. There is no conversation when you refuse to take responsibility for the damage your actions cause. There is no conversation when your perspective is limited to selfish, immature self-victimization. There is no conversation when your perspective shows no empathy for mine. Why would I care about your perspective when your perspective is that I deserved abuse? Healing can never take place in the toxic cycles you've created, escalated, and refused to stop repeating. Either communicate with me directly and authentically, ideally with a family therapist to mediate, or leave me alone. If you continue to post these things, I will have no option but to respond publicly as well.
Boy, somebody really starving for attention. Is that too soon? But
Well,
God.
maybe, but actually it's interesting because the one thing I never did seeing that, because obviously that sounds horrible, right? Like if that's true, and the question is like, this ex-husband who bashed her head into the concrete, was that her dad, and she's so detached like that she doesn't consider him a dad, or was
I
that
feel
like
it was either. I think
stepdad?
it was I'm guessing it was like a stepdad or a mom's boyfriend type of deal.
Yeah. So, but the only thing I never did, which is so weird, now that I'm telling you this, is I never actually read, because she did a screenshot of the mom's post that triggered this. And the mom's post, now, like, this will be the first time I've read it, so let's see what you think about this. The mom's post that Kate found so offensive, and that was some subtle jab at her, let's see what it was. Chris says, there are times you have to use the only thing you see as possible to reach someone. And sometimes it has to be social media. Not because you want it out there for everyone, but because direct contact is impossible and it's the only means you have. Healing can't take place without conversations, but all sides must be heard. Perspective does not equal reality.
Was this okay? So that was the initial post that Kate responded to.
That was the post that Kate screenshotted and then wrote this whole diatribe about. Yeah.
Okay, well,
It sounded very reasonable, and it didn't sound like an attack.
Right. Unfortunately for Kate, being that I don't know much about her and all I know is she's like on some weird psychedelic journey,
Yeah.
her whole rant doesn't carry much weight, especially when the initial post specifically stated, like, what was it? Reality?
It says perspective does not equal reality, which is fair.
Yeah. That is very fair, because what Kate might be saying, which like I already said before, which was more of a joke than anything, somebody's starving for attention. Kate I remember her being very much like that, and I remember girls not liking her because she was very much like always wanting some sort of attention.
Interesting.
In some way. So with that being said, when you don't know, you don't know, but both are kind of a graphic thing. So it depending on obviously that initial post that woman put. Was that her? Is that her? Who was that?
I guess that's her mom.
Okay, so yeah. With that being said,
but then again, Kate implies. Sorry to interrupt. Please hold your try to remember it. But Kate implies in her response to this otherwise seemingly blasé post, she makes it seem like that her mom has been posting other things up to this point, and this is like a boiling point.
Or maybe Kate is just being overly paranoid and taking everything so personal, and
including with me, somebody that she just saw a random post from.
Remember. Yeah, that's right. The shit she said to you, and it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
Are you on? So her credibility is zero.
Yeah. Like, at least from our perspective.
If there's any amount of credibility to her, from as we know her, especially with the shit she said to you, when it wasn't even like, she had a very warped perception of what I think, what reality actually is,
which is
of things that happen.
But here's the thing.
Well, that's why they say don't do drugs, kids.
But also,
I'm not against them. But
here's the thing,
people who take it too far, man.
Here's the thing. I agree, but chicken and the egg, right? What came first? The mental illness or the abuse? Because if that thing that she says in the beginning is true, like, she might be paranoid about what her mom is saying, but she describes a very graphic and vivid scene. And if she really did have her head slammed on the concrete while her mom was unsympathetic or blaming her for it in that moment, it could be that she actually got I'm talking literal brain damage.
Sure, but also here's this, and this is a very blunt.
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
But I mean, if that actually happened and she did get a concussion and all that happened, you're not going to remember anything. you're not going to remember all that graphic detail. It's not going to be that specific.
No, that's not true. Hold on, think about it. Hold on. There's people all the time
that's why
that
I said it's going to be blunt. I wasn't saying it's truth be told. I'm just saying, like, come on.
No, I know, but you stated it like it was kind of a fact, and all I'm gonna say is a rebuttal to that is like,
fair enough.
When people are like, oh, they described the moment where they got hit by a bus and then they got like lights out or whatever. Like, time slows down when you're in a survival situation. Her adrenaline was pumping. It's very likely that she the thing is.
Okay.
Let's just assume what she's saying is true. Let's assume that.
I'll assume what she's saying is true. I'll also say that she's exaggerating and fabricating a few things, because even I do that with certain things, and I tell a story. I will exaggerate things and fabricate it to make it sound worse or better or whatever, just to make it more interesting or more, to get more sympathy or whatever. I've never actually gone that route with the sympathy thing, but I think that's more of a woman thing. But I mean, come on, you and I both well know that with women, they sure as hell think that they never do anything wrong half the time. And unless you have proof to look back on it, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I did this, but you also did this. And it's like, no, it was all you. And it's like, well, so I mean, things to be said about that, but that's being pretty what's the word? I don't know. I'm retarded. Callous. Yeah, that's good enough. That'll work. Yeah. That's being pretty. That's a good word for it. I was thinking of something completely different, but that will fit the theme. Yeah. Actually, maybe even more so better. So yeah, that's being real callous. But I'm just saying, like, and this is coming from my perspective, right? Because I've gotten in nasty fights with Cypern's mom back in the day, and we would get in fights and stuff, and I'm the one that got in trouble and got my domestic assault charges, and it's like charges I should never have, that I never should have had from 12 years ago. So when I hear stories from women like that, I have a bit of a bias towards like, well, I mean, how does it escalate to that? I mean, she could have been doing something like, granted, she's only 11. Sure, what can you do to a grown man? But at the same time, it's like, what are you doing to provoke somebody to get to that point as well? Not to say that what he's not justifying what he's doing is good, because I would never do that to, a younger child that age or anything like that. So yeah, that's really bad, but at the same time, it's like,
I can't really. I would imagine you probably wouldn't do that to anybody, really.
Yeah, there's two
because
sides.
It's like winning. Like let's say that even if you were fighting somebody that was an equal size and strength to you, I mean, you would also have to be psychotic. Even I'm not saying psychotic, but at least
I've been in fights before, and not once did it ever cross my mind to bash their head into the ground and knock them out. So
that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying like even no matter what she did or whatever, it's like
that doesn't matter.
The principle of bashing somebody's head in, even if they're even if they are equal strength, equal whatever, like once they're down,
that's still psychotic.
Once they're down, they're
down.
Sorry,
I'm a little. Always gotta have the peanut gallery here at home.
No, but it's more like
a girl from high school. Cole's friends with her on Facebook. I'm gonna make an extremely long story very short.
I would love to hear this.
Basically, she's ready for it. He's like, how's he gonna frame this?
I can see it.
So some chick from high school that we used to know, or that he knows.
She was in my graduating class from the time we were tiny kids, like from the earliest.
Yeah, so he's known her for a long time. I just knew her in high school. Anyways.
But I don't really know her after high school. It's like
he's been in contact with her like over the years, off and on, very little. And
casually.
Just recently, she had sent him a message about something, and she was like, something Cole posted, and she messaged him saying, something about like, we all have our shadows or our dark side, and she's like trying to portray, because Cole made like a little YouTube for his kid where he's reading her stories, and in his post or whatever he wrote on one of his Facebook posts, whatever. I know a lot of like the kid stuff is weird, whatever. I want to keep it normal, okay? And so he posts that, and then she responded in a message about that post. Just recently out of nowhere, and he hasn't talked to her in like so many years. And then she just made a post on her Facebook about her mom or something, and how she was abused as a child, and she had her head smashed into the ground by like whether it was her stepdad or her boyfriend or whatever. And she was responding to a post that her mom had made about like what really happened from the perception of reality as opposed to what she's saying or thinking. So him and I are like bantering back and forth between like.
But ask your mom if she knows Chris Hanish. She probably
Do you know
does.
Chris Hanish?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know the last name. I graduated with a girl named Sarah Hanish, but she didn't. She moved away here years and years ago. I don't think she had picked up like school with you guys. But it's probably a relation.
Yeah,
probably.
It's an unusual name, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But now Kate Hanish's name, because of this trauma.
Oh yeah, listen, here's Kate Hanish's name. Say it, Cole, so my mom will hear you.
Shia Kavala.
She's on a spiritual journey right now. So.
Spiritual journey to Cuckoo Land.
Pretty much,
There's
yes.
There's a very based view. If you
That's
want to
very
talk
based.
about base,
It's very
that is
based. It's very
Yeah.
based.
Oh, I'm from the 80s, man.
I know.
Yeah, the 80s were based.
There's no
The
gray.
80s were
Yeah.
based.
No gray area. You're either fucking nuts or you're not.
Yeah, that's very based.
Wait,
No, which isn't a bad thing. I was
It's not a
saying
bad
it-
thing. It's not a
it's
bad
Cole
thing.
and I are both very much like that. But I was just saying, like, I was just pointing out because Cole was on this, like,
To live in the gray area.
Cole's on this, like,
I agree.
Cole's on this, like, based kick now. He has been for a
I'm
while.
not on a fucking kick. God damn it, Clint.
But
You know what? When you live in the gray area, there's never an answer to anything. It's all anything. There's no truth in it either. It's either true
It's
or it's not.
wishy-washy. Yeah.
That's right.
the wishy-washy gray area, another base statement. You heard it here first by Cole Randall.
By the owl and the... We haven't figured it out yet.
No, I actually figured it out.
By the God.
I asked AI about it. I asked AI about it.
Dude, we should just... Why don't we just invite your
My
mom to
mom
the
said
Zoom
bye,
call?
by the way.
Oh,
She
tell
shut
her
the
bye.
door.
No, but why can't
He
we just
said
send...
bye.
Why can't we just send the
System
Zoom...
Sentinel.
Why can't we send the Zoom link to her? Get her on this, like, properly.
Bro, we should one night.
No, but we absolutely should.
She has all sorts of opinions, I promise. Dude. Well, she's always in here trying to ask us. That's what I'm saying, man. We got to start, like, doing these live, man. People are gonna be like, that's what I'm saying. But no, I came up with the name System Sentinel. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something you would come up with, but, you know...
I had the help of AI.
Where's the irony in that, you know? It's got to have some, like, inside joke. Well, actually, the owl doesn't at all.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I was trying to think of terms of, like, professional, but, like, edgy, something that represents me.
I actually don't mind it. Like, if I really reflect on it, I need, like, a few days to think about it. But the thing is...
There's a bunch of
oh
other...
my
That
God.
was, like... I literally... I just went to AI and I was like, hey... I need like an. I did. I literally just did it before I told you I got a name, so I didn't take a lot of time. So that's why I'm like still kind of like iffy about it because I can do better. I feel like, but at the time I was like, hey, I need a name for like I need a list of like usernames for a to represent myself for like a podcast or like some sort of alias or something like that. I said I want it to represent me, philosophy, theology, and deep thinking, yada yada yada. And so then she spit out a bunch of different shit or whatever, and I just scrolled through the list.
Hey, how about this? Okay, how about just the Sentinel?
I can't.
But then we have to think about the Sentinel though.
Oh, what about just Sentinel?
Well, see, I was thinking, no, this is what I thought, because there were a lot of them where I could have put just the in there, but then I was like, What if I told Cole and it was just like the Sentinel, or it was just
No.
this? Then he's gonna think I'm trying to copy him.
No,
So I didn't know
I don't
if
care
you
about
wanted
that.
to have like similar pseudonyms.
No, I
or
just
if you
thought,
weren't-
bro, I just thought that the Owl 2 was too much.
Fair enough. So okay, I'll go back to the drawing
is
board.
great. Duh is fine.
Okay, I'll leave the in there because then it kind of goes hand in hand with, which
Yeah.
makes sense. But I didn't know if you wanted to go that route or not. So I was thinking
Well,
about
that's
like.
why, if you look back, I suggested like the peacock. That was at the.
Oh yeah. Well, wasn't thinking along those lines, and I was like, well, I don't want Cole to be like, oh, so you went with the.
Nah.
Yada yada. And
Nah, that would be me
I was
being
trying to,
like a
I was
fucking
trying to
bitch.
respect you and your whole thought process
nah,
because
that
I know
would be
the
s-
owl thing for you
Bro,
is like
bro.
very.
That
What?
would be like the most extreme version of narcissistic, autistic, whatever you want to call it. There's
I know,
no-
but like I'm like that though. Like I try to think like that.
No,
when
but
it comes to
here's
other
the thing.
people.
I
so-
do too, bro. Can I tell you something?
Okay. Yeah.
So, and this is again.
You and I
this-
overthink everything. That's me overthinking that, by the way.
But also, this
anyway.
is. I get you, but this is why we can't go live on this kind of conversation because, like, there's people that will watch that know us. Like right now, I'm recording it for the archives, and we can get clips out of this, and we could even
Right.
post it. But like things where we're saying like, oh, Billy Fletcher.
let's
blah,
get
blah,
into
blah.
let's get into
No,
this.
but hold on. But when I say like,
Okay.
oh, Billy Fletcher and Matt Lawley, I don't think it's right for us to like throw their names out like that, where it's like forever in the. I mean,
Oh my
it
gosh,
just.
super quick story.
Oh, please.
We're just, by the way, Cole and I are just gonna get you in on one of these because you're always in here when we're doing this. Okay.
Okay, so listen to this shit. So I'm watching a video, the Clint's Reptiles one, you know?
The what?
The Clint's Reptiles one, the reptile
Oh,
guy.
this is a. Okay.
So she's,
You're gonna have to give Cole backstory then.
it's just a reptile guy that I watch. He has all these different reptiles.
Okay, yeah.
So, but he's interviewing this girl on his show. She's a young lady, whatever. She looks to be around 30, whatever. Anyway, she works at this reptile place, and the kids can come and do tours and see all the reptiles and whatever. And they have an alligator there. So they were having a birthday party later that day. So she's like, well, we'll wait to feed the gator, and so the kids can see me feed the gator. And she's like, you never touch the side of their face, whatever. So she accidentally, when she was trying to do something, touched his face, and he all the kids are watching. He pulls her he grabs her hand. She had to get in the pool. He's got her and he's doing death rolls. So some guy that doesn't know anything about gators jumps in there and it jumps on its back because that's what she tells him to do. So they're like wrestling this gator with all these kids. And I don't know, I just thought it was funny. And you know what the gator's name was? Darth Gator.
What's what the hell?
Okay. Jesus.
I like that story.
Appreciate that.
That's a good one. That was a good kicker at the end there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Jenny. That's actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a look
All
at
you
that.
gotta do is Google Darth Gator, whatever, the girl.
So you can watch the video where a bunch of kids are supposed to watch. Oh, we're just gonna feed the gator,
Yeah,
and ends up damn near feeding the whole lady to the gator. Somebody's gotta jump in and save her.
Bro, you just dropped bars. You just said
Did
like
I?
to the gator, jumped in and saved her. It was like, yeah, you were just
Oh,
laying
shit.
up.
I didn't even realize it, man. That's
You
wild.
want me to write a song, Cole, about Darth Gator?
No. But Clinton, I just told Clinton he's got to send me some lines where he's just like, he's got to send them specifically where he just does a little song, some spoken word, and then I'm gonna put it to a beat, and then I'm gonna send it back to him. But it could take
But
5
not
years.
until like 5 years.
Yeah.
It could be something like
Because
that.
he's like, yeah, you need to do that because I want to do like a snippet, but it's gonna probably be like 5 years because I work really slow. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Well,
Well, thank you, Jenny. That was actually a good story. And I just Googled Darth Gator, so I'm going to see it eventually.
Yeah,
look-
there you go. Yeah, he's definitely, the kid's birthday party. Yeah, and they kids are watching this freaking gator death roll this chick.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I do
Well,
got it. I got Darth
Birthday
Gator.
party gone wrong.
Oh, bro,
What?
this is so weird.
What?
Oh my God, what are the odds? So I typed in Darth Gator, and then it says on Google, like, people also ask, is Anakin Darth Gator? And then it says, what was Hitler's alligator's name? And then it says, is a gator more aggressive than a crocodile? And then it says, what is Gator's real name? Those are the top 4 suggested Google searches based on if I just type in Darth Gator. Do you get the same thing? I would be curious. But whatever.
Do you want me to do it right now? I can do it quick.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, you know.
All right, on Google?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not on my computer. Did my video go away?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, all right. Darth Gator. Come on, what is going on with my phone?
All
right, where do I view the top
Why did your video
result?
go away? Why did your video
Because
go away?
I'm on my phone, and so I left the Zoom thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if I was on my computer, obviously that'd be a different story.
No worries.
Where do I see that at?
No, but you just scroll down like after the first result. Or even on the phone, maybe it's the first few results, and then it will say people
Oh, are you
also.
just saying...
It'll say people also ask, and then you can...
Oh,
expand.
yeah, let me find that. I see it sometimes. Oh, right here. I've got... Dive deeper into Darth Gator? I don't see the people ask portion on my phone here.
Okay, can I? I'm gonna send you a screenshot just for fun.
Yeah, do that, and then I'll be able to know what you're talking. I'll be able to figure it out.
Well, no, but it's not even about figuring it out. Maybe it's also about like how the
Because I've seen it before, but maybe I can jump. I mean, I can jump on my computer. I don't.
No, but what I'm saying is like maybe this just shows you how the AI is like so custom.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about because I've seen that, but it's not pulling up on my thing, and I'm thinking I see it on my computer when I search.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm jumping on my PC right now to see my 6,000. Actually, I've actually my total PC setup. I've spent along with if I include like the 2 monitors that I have that I will be using. Yeah. Cypher's using one right now, but like between my 2 monitors and like my keyboard, my mouse, and my chair, and my computer and everything, it's like almost a $12,000 setup.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's intense.
I'm hardcore about that stuff, but I love my technology, so I spend money stupidly.
Oh, I get that.
Well, this is how I think of it, and I don't know. Maybe that you've gotten older now. I still have the same mindset. Well, I shouldn't say same mindset, but it's like money is money. The more money you have, the more you spend.
Yes.
And so, like, I'm not necessarily living a life of luxury by any means, but it's like we all live and we all die someday. Money means nothing. So I just fucking spend my money because it doesn't mean anything to me, because someday I'm gonna be dead, and things that I want, that I could have had, or that I really wanted that I didn't get, I had never had them, and someday I'm gonna die.
So here's the thing. True.
That's
obviously true. Okay.
I know you're always got to have a fucking smart ass rebuttal. All right.
No, hold on.
I always like to hear what Cole says.
Blanket truth. Yes, agreed. And that also informs.
That's why I was.
Hold on.
Sorry.
No, actually, I want to hear what you had to say.
No, I don't even remember. I'm tuned up. So go ahead.
No, but what I was just gonna say is like. So I have 2 minds about this. Okay. And I think this is something that one should kind of like try to cultivate. Like it's the yin and the yang. It's darkness and light. It's blah blah blah.
Yeah. I want to hear it.
Okay, so the way that I look at this is how it's materialized in my life is when it comes to large amounts of money, I find that I'm a little more smart about it, and quote unquote in terms of like return on investment or value or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
When it comes to like regular everyday stuff, I have the exact same philosophy, and sometimes with bigger things. But basically, like the way that I look at it is like all I ever wanted out of life in terms of money mainly was what I used to say to Shpressa is like, if the music pays our bills, I will think that we've made it. Okay? Obviously, it went beyond that, but the way that I look at that is
so
sort of
awesome.
like...
God, I still love that.
But listen,
Anyways, go on.
No, but what I'm saying is like the way that I have...
No, I'm just saying from a personal perspective to know that, because you've spent so much of your life doing that, and it's just like, and you had so much support. Well, maybe not, but I feel like, you know, your family, you know, your grandpa did what they could to support you, and they, you know, they had a vision. They shared that vision.
Well, and not just that.
It's so cool.
The thing is, like,
it's a really remarkable. I shouldn't say remarkable story, but it's a very cool.
Nice term.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. It's a very cool, because, like, and maybe to me it's more of a bias thing because I know you personally, but to like have a friend and you live in a small town and to like see them like blow up and succeed in a way that a lot of people don't, it's a really cool fucking. I mean, it's just like a feel good story. It's like, you know what, I may not be.
Yeah, but I also think that. No, but the thing extends to everybody. Like I think about that sometimes in terms of that anybody can do anything they want. That's. Well,
I know that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that also extends to like because there's no, and that is like when we talk to each other. That's why I do try to encourage you to like. You are a guy of many talents. The only thing that separates you and me is that I focused on one thing and stuck to it consistently. That's literally the only difference. There's no, like, you could be a great at almost anything that you want to set your mind to.
Well, you
know, and I know it sounds, but I'm saying
I know you found your like thing, right, and you stuck.
Well,
to it, so
the thing is, like, I found the thing that I will, no matter what, like when I always think about this because you always pop into my mind when I think about this, but it's like when you said to me one time, like, when you first actually pointed out to me, like, oh man, it's another fucking phase, Cole and his phases, and it's still like an inside joke between us. And I've thought about that over the years, like how this was like a thing that wasn't just a phase, and you know, and,
really
and that's really the thing. Like, I am a phase person, and because I'm a phase person,
But now you like went beyond that though, because you had your phases and you did those phases, and you have one phase, and it's not a phase, right? It's a fucking, you know, it's an awesome thing for you. But now you're able though, because I don't want to say mastered it, because I don't think you would even consider that you mastered it. No. But so that's why I wouldn't say that. But
I would say, like, a
master.
A master is also somebody who's trying to become a master. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm always trying to be better. So I just want to say that. But, yeah.
The only point, it's not a very exciting point. The only thing I was getting to is that now that you have like your phase, now you can do like any phase you want.
Well, yeah, in some sense, but then,
you know what I mean? Like, that's, I'm just saying,
in some
they're no
sense.
longer phases now. Now it's just like, dude, you can branch out and go from wherever, because you've got this platform and you can just succeed in so many different things.
I wish that were
it's because
true,
of all
but
the work that you've done, though.
but
you can. Dude, when you told me the other day, like, oh yeah, I did this little story thing, I've only got 300 subscribers. Dude, that's a lot of subscribers. You know how many people have a YouTube and have probably had it for how many years, and they don't even have that many? And you just threw it up there as a side thing, and it's like, oh yeah, it's only got 300. Well, that's pretty fucking good, man. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's very sweet of you, man. But I can't really, and I appreciate that. But what were we talking about?
I don't remember, but I like how as soon as you ripped, you're like, wait, what were we talking about? You totally fucking forgot.
No, it's not that I forgot. It's just that it was that was a major aside. Cause I was saying something, and then
you as soon as you ripped, you're like, you took it, and then you're like enjoyed it for just like your little millisecond or second, and then when you came back too after the whole thing, you were like, wait, what were we talking about? And I totally know how that goes, because I've been there and I've done that. And it's like you're sitting there rambling on, and then it's like, hold on a sec, I gotta do this. And then you take the rip or whatever, and then you come back and you're like, all right, wait, hold on, what was I doing?
God damn it! Why do you?
So funny.
Why are we so similar? But here's the thing. But we had a main thread. I want to get back to the main thread. That's all I'm saying. It's like,
okay,
we got off on an aside.
We got off. Dude, I feel like we never stick on a main topic, bro.
I know, but I'm saying, like, this has to come to completion.
It makes it exciting though.
We need the orgasm for this thread.
You were talking. I was talking about money, and then you were getting into that, and we got into your phases, and you were
No, but the thing about what you do when you don't like when you have resources, like you just said, you said like, and the way that I look at this is.
No, I didn't say you had resources. I said you had a platform.
No, but I'm saying but before you were saying like you have resources, I have resources. Like when you have, you started this with like a resource conversation.
I never said anything about resources.
No, but you said when you have the money to do certain things.
Oh, yes.
So
no,
that's
wait,
resources.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
you
didn't.
did.
No, I didn't.
I wish I could rewind. But I
Dude, you
can't
can.
until no, but
It's
not until
recorded,
later.
bro.
I know, but later, what I'm only gonna know in retrospect. Okay, well, whatever.
Maybe I did. I
No,
might
you
have got
said-
on it.
No, but you said something about like where you said the way you view money. That's what you started with. The way you view money, right? And you said something about like you're gonna die anyway, blah blah blah. And then I said,
Yeah, I said that.
I have two minds about this. Now we're
Yes,
back.
you said that.
Now we're back on the main thread. So I have two minds
Yeah.
about this. So on one hand, when it comes to just basic, like the basic flow of like what you get in a month, I'm really.
Oh, and then I mean,
No,
we're gonna sidetrack again, because then I started like bragging you up, and I was
exactly.
like, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So I said, and it's what I'm continuing. Okay, so when it comes to like the basic amounts that you get in a month, like whatever, like your salary, your whatever comes in, I'm terrible with that. But
Bro,
like,
you know how much I make in a
No, but
month right now, bro?
hold on. With with our publishing deal in 2019, what I did with that was basically like put it in the stock market, and I've never touched it. So all we've lived off of, like, so we got a couple of good deals, and all that shit. It's just basically like my whatever you want to call it.
Did you put it into a bunch of blue chips or what?
Well, not entirely. I actually bet on Tesla a little bit. So Tesla is like 30% of my portfolio, and I actually bet on.
But
Tesla.
you got scared for a while.
Yeah, and I didn't sell because that's fucking stupid.
Yes.
That's the only thing. Like, remember, what did Warren Buffett always say? This is what I distill everything he's ever said into.
You know, here's the thing about.
Hold on, let me just say it, and then please hold your
go
thought.
ahead. Yep.
Time in the market beats timing the market. That's all I'm gonna say. And now continue.
Yeah, I get that.
Time in the market.
But I was
beats
also gonna say,
timing.
yeah, I was also gonna say though, I would love to be able to invest in that and do a lot of the blue chip stocks like Tesla, like Nvidia, like AMD.
Well, Tesla's still considered a growth stock because it's a little bit uncertain. Blue
maybe,
chips to me are like Ford, which I did invest in as well. Like Ford,
yeah,
Walmart is basically a blue chip.
I still consider Tesla blue chip at this point. I mean, this
They
guy's
could
got
fail,
so many.
though.
This guy, I mean, he could fail, but he's got so many different innovations going on, and you've got Tesla supported by SpaceX,
Agreed.
and those are both two different entities.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's like,
making my
it's really
argument for me. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's really hard to fail that, and that's just coming from a very don't know it. I don't know much about stock market, but I know a little because I was getting into it. The issue for me though with the stock market is, in order to get into the stock market and really be able to make money off of it, especially if you're going to invest in blue chip stocks, you need to have money to make money. So like, 'cause you can go on the stock market, right? But you've got Microsoft shares and Nvidia shares now that they've recently split, right? And they did a split on it. So then, because their shares used to be like 3,000 and they split it, so then they dropped to like one whatever.
By the way,
130.
isn't that a fun little trick?
I've looked
see what I'm
into it
saying?
a little bit.
It's a fun little trick because think about the perception when you're looking at it. You think
Yes,
about it
well-
as like a cheaper stock, but at the same time the market cap is going up and up and up and up, which I think is what is. I think Elon Musk utilized that.
That's why
really.
that's the whole point of splitting it. But there are
No, but they
smaller
don't say that
companies
though. They don't say
No.
that though.
Well, no,
They
but
say
there
the
are
point of
smaller
splitting is like, oh, we want to bring in smaller investors or whatever. No.
Well, see that is part of it, but splitting it, yes, it makes it more attractive to a buyer. But the reason they split it though at the bare level is specifically so they can bring in those buyers in hopes of raising their stock price and their market cap
That's a good
even more.
point.
Because the more buyers
good
they
point.
have, you know, the higher their stock goes. The
Yeah,
stock
yeah.
drops, right, when somebody sells the stock.
Listen, I agree with you 100%. I don't disagree at all. But I'm also,
and only with blue chips. But you do need money to make money in the stock market.
No, but
like
hold
if I'm
on,
going
hold
to
on.
the stock market, hold on. If I'm investing in like blue chip stocks,
Yeah.
like if I want to invest in Nvidia, okay, let's say I'm just gonna go with Nvidia because I what are they like at 150 right now, 140 probably with what they've been at for a while. Maybe they're at 160. I know they've gone up and down, but they haven't stagnated. They had a drop here and there.
Nvidia?
Yeah, what are they at right now?
Nvidia right now is where's it? 178.
Wow, that Intel partnership skyrocketed them because I'm pretty sure 2 weeks ago they were around 150.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to know what my average share price in Nvidia is?
What?
$37.
When the fuck did you get in on that?
I
What?
bought a bunch of stock in Nvidia before I knew anything about anything, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just.
When was this?
This was like 2000. I didn't have any money either. I invested a tiny
I
amount.
get
of
it.
money.
When was this?
This was like 2018 or 2019.
They were. I didn't look into any of that type of stuff when I
know, but I only I had like a few $100s, and I was like, I want to get into the stock market. And then I was just doing my research.
How many shares do you have? Will you tell me how many shares you have?
Yeah, I have 162 shares of Nvidia.
That's not a lot, but
No, it's not.
at that price point, that's what is that, like 50, 60 grand right there?
Right now, in my portfolio, it's worth about 28,000.
Oh, okay, so I was way off. But yeah, so that's why I'm saying though, like right now, like so when I want to get into Nvidia right now, right? I gotta wait. Wait for a low point. They're at 178. Wait
But
for them to
that's
hit.
the thing. But then you got to
Wait
look at
for 'em
like.
to I know, but this is my point though. What I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
even at $30, the difference between $30 and $130 is a hell of a lot of money. If I want to make even any sort of money on Nvidia at this point, I mean, I've got to.
But dude, you got to try to look for the next Nvidia.
I already knew about that shit in 2018.
That's
I
what I'm
could've told you that
saying.
in 2018.
Exactly, but what could you tell me now? You see what I'm saying? You know things.
Nothing,
And that's,
because those are the big companies that
no. But
right now, I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
I know, but here's the thing. Your brain. One thing we know about each other is this, right? That our brains work very similarly. That's the only reason we're doing this. That's the reason we're still friends. That's the reason everything, right? That's the reason we were friends.
Oh, we're only still friends because our brain works similar? It's not because you like me?
Yeah, I mean, of course I like you, but I'm not saying it's because our brains work similarly.
You know what?
But
I'll tell you.
it doesn't hurt.
We are
It doesn't hurt.
God, we are so similar.
But let me
Fucking
just finish my
weird.
point. My point is that if you're anything like me, what I realized after just a couple of weeks, because like I was super intimidated about this. I was like, I always felt like, I should be somebody who knows how to invest in the stock market. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you before you have any. I'm gonna stop you right now before you have anything to say, and I apologize for being the further.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can continue.
I was fucking with the stock market for quite some time when I was working and I had money to burn.
But were you trading or investing? See what I'm saying?
Both. But listen.
No, but see, here's the thing. I've never thought that I was smart enough.
I was doing.
That's the difference.
I was
between
doing both. And
hold on.
But the thing I want to get into is when I started getting into it and I was looking at it, and even now this is gonna even prove my point even further. To be honest, when I was getting into it, which wasn't very long ago, but Nvidia hadn't merged with Intel yet, their stock was dropping, and they were at a low, and their low at the time was 115. Their high at the time was like 140-ish. So anyways, even if I wanted to buy into Nvidia to make it even a reasonable amount of money over a certain period of time, Like, okay, yeah, their stock now is at 178, but I mean, they've been at 115 to 140 for almost probably 3 years. It only recently shot up, right, because of that
exactly.
Intel merge, because they merged with Intel now, and which is why their stock right now is at where it's at. Eventually, it's going to drop again a little bit, but it's going to stay. You know, it's going to fluctuate higher. But I'm saying, like right now, like to get in on that, at 100 and say if I can get in at like, cause I won't, but let's just say I can get in at $150 a stock. I mean, 150.
I gotta stop you. Because you know what I'm hearing?
Oh my god.
Hold on a second.
Hey, wait,
hold on.
Much,
listen for
no,
2
no,
seconds.
no, 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 stop. I'm not rebuttaling. I gotta do something. How much more time do we have on here?
Yeah, I got a peel, so I could do another hour. Maximum.
Okay. I wanted to go refill this quick.
I'm gonna piss, you do that, take your fastest shit in the north or whatever. Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm still there. I'm still the fastest. Yeah, keep saying. I don't have that.
Wait, how much fucking kids are here? So you're just not with them? Oh. I said, fucking red. You ain't nowhere I'm from. Father. Get in. Fucking that. Fucking big girl. Who the fuck are you? Oh. They see that shitty anything. They see shitty anything. Bitch. I thought you 50. I thought you 50. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god.
Dude, you need to do a Backstreet Boys remix, bro.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? That's straightforward, bro. You need to do a Backstreet Boys remix.
What are you talking about?
Fucking Flora Cash style Backstreet Boys.
What are you talking about?
What? Talk about Backstreet Boys.
Were you hearing the music I was listening to?
No.
Oh shit, that was weird. Because I was playing an idea that I had today. I was using this time.
And it was going along with Backstreet Boys?
No, but I was just thinking, like, I was like, oh my god, can he hear what I'm listening to? And then you were like, you gotta do a Backstreet Boys thing. And I was like, man, is that the vibe this is sending out? That's interesting.
It's like, shit, I hope not.
Oh no, actually, no, but I love those guys. But dude, okay, here's the thing. If I go, listen to me really carefully, please.
What?
if I go to live right now on our Floracash YouTube, you have to promise me no, just don't like bring up stuff that's gonna be like if the public would see it, you know. With our stuff on a separate platform, we can be a little more edgy, and I'm totally down for that. But I'm thinking like we just be ourselves.
Dude,
but
that's
just,
a lot of pressure, man. Oh, honestly,
but forget about it.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but
just kind of like don't bring up
Bro,
like the Taylor Swift, you know, back of the album cover type deal.
why are you putting it in my head? Like, you know how my brain works. I feel like sometimes
Okay,
shit just, but
let's
no,
go back to what we were
it.
talking about. Actually, okay, skip this for now.
Can I put a different shirt on or something?
What the hell were we talking about though?
Shit, hold on. Oh my god, I'm old, bro. Fuck, I hate old man brain, dude. Okay, so we were talking, and now we're talking again, and I don't know what we were talking about.
Alright, I got an idea. Hold on a second.
Just put, okay, let's do it. Since I know that or whatever, if you do it and I don't know, I'll keep that in mind. Just do that. And if you do that or whatever, just don't tell me that, oh yeah, well, hey, by the way, we're live. I don't need to know that I get
No, that's
it.
a good point. That's a good point.
But just don't let me know that we are.
I think I probably won't go live. See what I'm saying?
God damn it.
No, but actually I'm
Wait,
thinking
does that mean you did go live, though? And you're just
Yeah,
telling me
that's the
we're
thing.
not going to go live?
exactly. See, this is the thing, is like why one has to
You're using...
No, but here's the thing. This is why one has to.
So that would be a good thought experiment, though, because if you actually are live now and you told me that we're not, wait, the light might mean you're live. Now you're throwing in like all these other third-party things, bro, and it's fucking
No,
with me. Are you fucking with my brain, man?
I'm actually not. Dude, so here's the thing. It's
Damn
more
it.
like
Now you've got my conspiracy theory brain working. What the fuck's going on right now? No, see, here's a problem. Like, if you told me we were live, then I guess it wouldn't change much. I don't really care. But like me telling you not to tell me, but then you do it, which is totally fine. I get, because whatever, you know, I get it. It's in my brain. So
it is in your brain, yes.
So yeah, I can be respectable on that part, sure. I just I would expect you then to lead a little bit, some sort of.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. Is like it also can't be different. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I wouldn't expect.
No.
But
But here's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Sure,
why I
sure.
should. That's why I shouldn't have said anything. And that's actually the problem that I wanted to address. Like, so right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking at settings on YouTube. Even if
I can. I know that. I can see it through your glasses.
So here's the thing, like.
I see you through your own eyes.
This is why I think like the superior.
Am I
format...
too weird to be on live though?
No, you're not. You know what it is?
Oh,
I'm too
what?
afraid.
I get that.
And we've talked about that before. But like I'm experimenting with edginess, and I do think like authenticity and edginess is going to be the future. But it's also like I have to do it like.
I'm also thinking, well, that Charlie Kirk video that you posted with the title of it, I just shake my head every time I see it.
Why?
Because it's clever, but it's also implying I feel like you're drawing in viewers that had or have, because the title to me implies that it was celebrated.
Exactly.
And it brings in those viewers as well as others who would be like, oh my God, is he serious? He celebrated that? It brings in both sides of viewers. That's the thing about that title, because I see it. And we had a talk about it, and I'm actually still too afraid to click on it to see if that's what went on, because it's like the title is like, whoa, because it implies that. But I don't think it is or whatever. But I saw that title, and it's literally very basic. It's to the point. But I see what you're doing with the title. But yeah, it's a clever title.
Yeah, but it's also like you're connecting that to the main point or the main thread, which was that.
Yeah.
But
it
like
leaves
I
it up
like
in question.
I
It leaves that up. It leaves it up in question, which draws both sides.
yeah, exactly. Which is like, and that
Which
goes
also
into.
can pose a problem though, because then you're sitting there and you've got to be middle of the road.
Well, here's the thing. But actually, this is proving this is
That's
like
a good title for a live, dude.
no. But here's the thing. I'm trying to.
We missed that boat.
You basically, I get what you're saying. I understand, but you basically hit on the exact what you would call artistic intent, which is like, and this is what you might be missing from your analysis, is
Sure.
the middle of the road thing. I actually think that art, like what I'm starting to realize now as I get older and as I continue to make music and just, like in the situation that I'm in, and I'm watching the zeitgeist and blah 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 blah, absorbing it like everybody else.
Right.
There's something about fuck.
Think what?
Fuck.
What are you doing?
I should not have smoked that last hit of the end.
Jesus. Oh my God.
There's something about. There's something about.
Title.
No, hold on.
I'm fucking it up. Oh shit.
Wait, what did I just say? Now it's on you as a listener. Like, where was I? Now you gotta prove your salt here.
Hold on. I wasn't listening, bro. I mean, I was listening, but I'm like supposed to be the responder, so I've got other shit.
Yeah, but you can't. No. But,
hold on. Okay.
Reverse engineer your responses to understand why you were gonna respond that way, and then you'll understand.
Middle of the road. You were at middle of the road. And I was talking about how that title implies that it could go either way, so it entices both viewers to engage.
Yes.
And then you started coming up with an artistic point, in that you wanted to say what I was missing in my analysis of based off the middle of the road.
Well, what I'm saying is that art is subversive. Like what I'm realizing
subjective.
more and more. No, it's not just subjective. It's also subversive. Like in the sense that
I use such the generalized statement.
No, but I'm saying.
Subjective. You can
No,
tell
it's
I'm
not. No. But you're right. It is subjective, but it's also subversive, and that's what I'm starting to realize. That's what I'm starting to realize, only because I've had this particular.
Wait, what does that word mean right now? I don't remember.
Oh, it means basically like actually, it's basically like going against the mainstream, but you're in disguise.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So you're basically like you're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah. He is being
you bring
subversive.
all the little piggies, and then you got the sheep. All right, gotcha. All right.
No, but what I'm saying is that like that video to me was it at the same time as it's real and spontaneous.
Right. Yeah. Very much.
Where the artistic brain pops in is like, now that I have this, how do I present it if I present it? And I happen to be doing it live, so it kind of is what it is. And then so I have to also understand that, but at the same time I'm being very frank. And then the question is like, what do you call it to package it in such a way that it's not going to like, it's going to draw attention but not alienate people either.
Yeah, well that's why I said it was clever, because it didn't do either one of those.
Exactly.
Like I think that people.
Well, thank God. I'm actually glad to hear that from you, because you would tell me if it was.
But see, I haven't even clicked on it yet, but I keep glazing across it, and I'm like, what does he have to say? It has that. It gives you that feeling of, what does this guy have to talk about? You know what I mean? Because
it seems kind of out of character, right? Like it's like.
Well, with me knowing you as well as I do know.
No, but like for anybody that listens to Flora Cashews. Probably.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Very much so. Very, very much so, yes. And is that what you were trying to...
Well, but I'm just trying to say, like, I believe in this, like, ethos that is emerging in the zeitgeist of, like, radical honesty. I believe in that. I really do. I think, like, I don't want to be spied on, but I also believe in being as transparent as possible. So that's the dichotomy. That's like the yin and yang. It's like, I don't believe in a society where somebody else.
What I wonder though is,
hold on. Please try to hold that.
I'm sorry.
Thought.
Go ahead.
No, don't be sorry, but just try to hold that.
Yep.
I don't believe in a society where like we have Big Brother like enforcing behavioral changes or whatever.
Fair enough.
I do believe because it's inevitable that technology is it forces us to be more transparent, because like things we say, things we do, everything is being,
but
it's
very
online.
much, with that being said, it's very much a very double-edged sword with that, because it can either be very enforceable or it can be very transparent and, you know, go unseen, which is what ideally you would want to happen, even though you're still being monitored, because you have that in the back of your always, you know, that's what technology is. It's the ability to, what can we do as a government, what can we do as a society to keep tabs on everybody and what they're doing, with an intent of what they want to put out in the public media as, what can we do, you know, as a government or as a society to keep people safe, when in reality all they're doing is vying for more power, like in the grand scheme of things. Like ultimately that's the end goal, and that's always what it is, because the more money you have and the more power you have, the more power you want. Come on,
listen, I agree with all this. I agree, but I gotta riff off this for a second.
Yeah.
So the thing is that what you just say that last part again before you started going on a different rant. Back up. Zoom, like just go back like 20 seconds.
All right, 20 seconds.
You're saying that. You said something about.
I was talking about the government and its intent to make it look like it's for public safety, but in the grand scheme of things, it's more of like a power move to have control.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example of like how you can zoom in on that and get it in a higher fidelity. Okay, where it's like it gives you a little more compassion and sympathy for this viewpoint, right?
Sure.
What I've started to think about is, what are most of like when we point to like the Illuminati.
Do I get to answer this, or is this recorded?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna say a thing and then I want you, and then I'll be like, I'm done or whatever.
All right.
When we look at a structure that is like a super, what do we say, supranational / global structure / people that are not loyal to any one country, like even myself, like because I moved from America and then we were here and like the taxes were really high, and before
you have a great
but I'm saying
totally
before I really understood that, there was a part of me that was like, I'm just gonna move there where it's lower taxes. Like I wasn't feeling a strong sense of loyalty. Even though I am a proud American, in that moment I was not feeling a strong sense of national loyalty. It was more like, where
are you
can
talking about the strong sense of loyalty to America or Sweden?
Anywhere.
Okay.
And so I'm saying like that wasn't like, in that moment when I'm thinking in those ways, it's not a priority. And so I was willing to kind of move anywhere. I was like, where Bulgaria has super low. What does it look like in Bulgaria? What does the city look like?
Right.
Like, what is, I was just more thinking like, because I'm a citizen of the world, because we all are also. Like, it is planet Earth. So that is a true thing. But when you actually look at the people who are actually running these, like, first of all, they are like that, except times 10. Because they have literally bank accounts in every fucking country in the world.
Right.
And then there's an added layer that I realized a few years ago when I was sitting there stoned. And whatever.
Right.
The added layer, but the added layer is this: what are they actually doing when they're trying to get this control and all this kind of stuff? Like we talk about it like it's.
So
like
you are agreeing with me though.
But I'm telling you, I'm agreeing with you. But I said I was going to zoom in, give it more high resolution.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
So I agree with you. What I'm saying is that why do they manifest this impulse more than say we do in the commons, like us common people? The populace. The populace.
Wait. Hold on here. You lost me.
No, I'm saying like why? Okay, so why do the people that seem to be in this sort of like Illuminati class? Why do they have this? Why do they seem to have a stronger impulse for this sense of control and of the global society? No, hold on. That's one question, okay? But my answer that came to me was, they grew up under a spotlight. That's something that we didn't have. Like, in other words,
if you talk about like the silver spoon.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you grow up rich, you like, even if you don't have nannies, you have something where it's like you are way more like every action you take is kind of recorded, controlled, like documented.
Yes.
So it's sort of like we always think like, oh, because they want to record, document like whatever all of society, we think evil intentions, which they can be.
Right.
That can all be used for evil, which is why we should resist it. But from a psychological point of view, a lot of these people, like, you wonder how can they all be so fucking evil? And it's like, well, it's not that they're evil, it's that they come from a class of society where they were surveilled themselves their whole life, and they think, oh, it made me safer, it made me better, it made me stronger. See what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, sure. But okay, what about this? What about the outliers? Because not everybody born underneath that surveillance and underneath the pressure of having to abide and, you know, be a certain way and look a certain way on the outside of people. Like, there's got to be somebody somewhere at some point that becomes an outlier that says, hey.
But the thing is, you're right, Clinton. But the thing is that it's not that's common. There are always outliers, and you know what we call those?
Crazies.
The white hats.
Well, the crazies.
No, but
the ones they
hat.
make look. Well,
no, but I'm not. I'm saying the people that.
I'm not familiar with the term, so go ahead.
No, but like so it started with hacker like terminology, lingo. Hacker lingo was like a black hat, literally like you're wearing a black. Yeah.
Yep, I get that term.
A black hat is a hacker who's hacking systems for malicious reasons, or like as a bad guy.
Right.
Like a white hat is somebody who hacks into things and then exposes vulnerabilities or says, hey, you need to fix this because I just broke it.
Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah,
but they have good intentions.
We're gonna hire you to hack us and show us what we're doing wrong.
Yes, but a white hat could also be hacking for purposes of like let's say that there's a terrorist organization and they have a system, and that system will tell you where the hostages are. A white hat would be like, I'm going to hack into that. So what I'm saying is that in the global elite, whatever the prevailing sort of like will of that global elite is, like, that is going to steer things for all of us. But no matter what, the only reason that things aren't worse than they are, in a sense, is because at any given time, there's always a certain ratio of white hats, even within that organization. So,
fair enough.
I'm not even saying people that go publicly and go like, oh, I'm a whistleblower. I'm saying, like, I think in the CIA, there's a whole faction of people that are like, oh, I really am America first.
The media and governments are very good at making the whistleblowers look like they're crazy people.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I'm not even just whistleblowers. I'm talking about people that are in the system. You know what I mean? Like, that are basically like steering things. Like, I think, like, we always think about the CIA as rogue elements of the government are doing this shit. But I'm saying there's also rogue good guys. I believe that. I think otherwise things would be worse than they are.
But in that case, then I mean, and if that's the case, then can it not be said that I feel like if that's the case, then the rogue black hats far outweigh the rogue white hats at this point, or white hats at this point.
Freudian slip. Interesting. White hacks. Interesting.
It was. That is a prime example. I love it. I knew you were gonna fuck it. As soon as I corrected myself, I'm like, shit. Here comes Cole with this goddamn. I knew it, but no.
Well, it sounded like you just had a Freudian slip.
Well, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, but it sounded like
No. Excuse me, sir.
No, excuse me. You're not.
No. Please. Excuse me.
No, I apologize completely. I'm sorry.
I feel totally.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm so embarrassed, but excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. No, excuse me. Excuse you. No, excuse each other. Together we can make a one.
Okay, Clinton. Let's reframe.
Okay.
Because we only have so much time. Like, after 4 a.m., it would be a travesty if I'm still awake. Here's the thing.
No, you're fine.
Here's the thing.
No, trust me, you're fine.
Yesterday, I broke a 64-hour fast. First time in my life that I've done something like that. I did, like, 2 weeks ago, I had a tooth pulled, like a wisdom tooth thing.
Yeah.
And I did like, because I was in so much pain that it, like, nothing sounded fun anyway. I was like, I don't even want to eat food. I don't want to drink beer. I just want to take, like, ibuprofen and, what's it called? Paracetamol. and just like ride this out. So I was like, it's already shitty to eat and stuff. I may as well fast.
Paracetamol?
Well, that's basically what would
Is
they
that like
call it?
Tylenol?
That is not Tylenol. That is Oh, it is Tylenol. Yeah. So I was like, I'm taking paracetamol and ibuprofen. If you combine them, because they work on different mechanisms. I learned this from a dentist, actually. If you're in pretty extreme pain, if you can, so ibuprofen, the way that it works,
Ibuprofen for inflammation reduction,
yeah.
which can help reduce pain based because of inflammation and
Yes.
inflammation goes down. Anyways, yeah.
And then paracetamol, so they work synergistically, and that
Yep.
actually seemed like,
Do the trick.
It seemed to do the trick. But I did that fast, and then I did that other fast, and it was interesting.
Okay.
Have
May
you
I
ever done
ask
that?
why?
Actually, to
fast?
be honest, because I was like, I've never actually done a full reset on my system, you know? Like, I've always...
it's interesting that you were.
But I do
doing
like since I was a kid, I'm probably similar to you. We're probably similar in this, but I've always naturally intermittent fasted. Like normally, I don't want to eat lunch, like breakfast or lunch. My whole
Right,
life,
yeah,
since,
yeah.
like I've always been a dinner only person, so
Right.
it
Yep.
wasn't as hard. But I've never
Mhm.
done like more than 20, like not even 24 hours.
Well, did you did like a full fast, and did you not even drink any liquids either?
No, but I did a water fast. You could say.
Oh,
I mean, I took minerals. You know, I took water and minerals, mineral salt type of deal, and tea. What do you mean? Why is that fine?
What kind of tea? Chamomile?
Green tea.
Oh, wait. Oh yeah. That makes sense. I was thinking of going to sleepy time with chamomile. Green tea,
Oh.
that'll get your heart going.
Yeah, which is good. It's good for
Yeah,
fat burning
for a
and all
fat.
that kind of stuff. Well, no, but I was
You know
actually
what?
thinking like I'm not, you know, but like, you know, I had a little bit of a.
Look at him trying. I saw you trying to flex a little
No,
bit.
I'm saying a little bit of
See
a
that?
beer belly. No, I said I swear. to
No,
God,
look at you trying to flex. Look at that.
You're such a fucking. I really wasn't. I have done that at other times on this conversation, but not then. You know, it's just like you know, it's sort of like okay, I'm 35 years old.
Does that
I
look
have
like
mo-
I'm flexing? Does that look like I'm flexing?
That dude,
Huh?
your right arm is definitely bigger than
Wait.
your left arm.
That's my
Nah,
left.
Never mind.
No, that's my left.
Never mind. God, you got so
Oh,
much.
you're right. Oh, what? They got
Nah.
the light. You can't see anything,
Nah,
bro.
actually, no, I was wrong. Here's the thing. You got that like serious. You got some serious mass, dude. You've always had that like nice condensed sort of like. Arf.
That's the fucking Mr. Bicep egg over
No,
there.
no, do the fucking do the elite
What?
grunt, flex and do the elite. Like if you do this and then you do the elite grunt.
Okay, all right. I just let me frame this.
Yeah.
All right. Work. You believe you just made me do that, bro?
Dude, those Halo days though, like it's so funny that we had this crossover like of friends where it was like not even friends, like
You never
would-
even played it, and the only reason you were ever even remotely interested in it, like, and I wouldn't even call it interest, was the sole fact that Clinton plays it, I guess.
Yes, but what was the one thing is like
Respect.
you know what it was? First of all, yes, absolutely, like completely, like I wanted. To
Oh
be in
yeah.
on that. I wanted to be in on that zeitgeist. The other side of it is like when you exposed me to Halo, you did me a huge favor in the sense that I really loved the fucking campaign. Like for me, it was like the live stuff, the LAN things that you guys were doing. It was exciting to be part of it, but I wasn't like good at it. I didn't think.
How
it
are
was-
we?
But no, what I'm saying is like the fucking you exposed me to the whole lore of Halo, which was like. I mean, I fucking ate that shit up. Like, I was like, oh my god, I really get it. Like, why these guys are.
That's
into
why
this.
a lot of people liked it though back in the day, like with
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
2 or 3, because they really did actually enjoy the story. As
It
the
was a
games
great
went on, right,
fucking story.
they got worse and worse, you know, and then the multiplayer got bad, and a majority of the players who were still playing were like the hardcore multiplayer people. You know, I stopped playing. I really stopped playing Halo at the end of Halo 2, Halo 3. I played a lot of Halo 3, but Not to the extent I don't think I did with Halo 2, but
Well, no,
Halo 2
the
was when I was,
story
like, in my pro.
story dropped off. The story
Yeah.
dropped off. But
So Halo 1
2
and Halo 2
was
story, Halo 1 and Halo 2 story were like prime. Then Halo 3 was like, eh. And then Halo 4 onwards was like, this shit, you know.
well, also
not
the
good.
fact that they tried to do that weird thing a few years ago where they were like, I mean, quite some years ago now, but where they were trying to
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna phase out Master Chief, and it's gonna be, you know, a team of Spartans. It was just such a ridiculous.
Oh, that was that was quite successful. Not to like,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
it
don't know
destroys the
why.
franchise.
You're thinking, yeah, no, well, they did a because they did Halo 1, Halo 2, and then Halo 3, and then they did Halo, what was it? Halo, what's it called? Halo, what the fuck was it called? I don't even remember anymore. Halo Recon, Halo whatever, but it was like a story which you weren't Master Chief, and he wasn't even a thing really in the game, and it was like about like the other soldiers. That was kind of a thing in the universe because like it was still about other Spartans,
Yeah.
I think, but not about Master Chief, which basically phased him out. But people actually did like that game. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
What did
I don't
you
have
think
much-
about? I mean,
think that's what you're referring.
it sounds like you liked the game. That's fine.
I played it. I didn't really like it. No.
Okay, here's the thing. As far as I
What
remember,
are we talking about Halo? There's so much more interesting things we could talk about.
no, not necessarily. I just want to say this one thing, and then if you want to respond,
Okay.
see, that's the thing. If it's good enough that you want to respond, otherwise change the subject. But I'm going to say one thing. It'll
Okay.
either close this or keep it open.
Oh shit.
Halo. What was the last thing you said?
Wait. About what? This is how we know this is not like interesting because you don't even remember. And I'm not
It
sure
is.
where. Okay.
It is
the last
interesting.
thing I said was you were talking about
What were you talking about?
Halo at some point after Halo 2 or Halo 3 phased out Master Chief and he became like non-existent, and then I rebutted and said actually this was supposed to be, it actually was a pretty decent thing, although
It
I
sold
wasn't-
lots of copies, kids.
I may not have been interested in it, but somebody was.
Actually, if I recall, there was many people.
There were, back in my day, I had lots of Halos. There were many a moon where I could have been a
All right.
great Halo player, but
All I want to say is this.
what?
All I want to say is. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
I don't know what song you're singing.
Oh my
But
god,
I
such a good
can-
song. It's Michael Jackson. Bro, listen.
what song is
2
that?
seconds. 2 seconds. Listen.
What?
Here's the deal.
Do you remember where you're going with this?
Okay, so. You know.
Bro,
You
you're
remember what I
fitting into
said.
one too many apples tonight.
You remember what I said.
Yeah, I do. No,
So-
I do.
Pick me
Like
up,
telepathically, yes, I remember. What about it?
I can't remember.
Bro, telepathically I can remember. You need me to send it to you like through
No, I need
waves
you to
or
say
what?
it. I need you
Radio
to say it.
frequency?
Hit me with it.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Oops, I did it again. It's something.
Oh man.
No.
Once again, I go to
Baby.
the Halo. So
yeah,
the
that-
thing is that Halo,
Telepathy.
you can go anywhere with Master Chief. That's the thing. It's like, okay. Here's the big picture. The whole
You're gonna have to tell me on this.
the whole concept of Halo was already bold and interesting, and like it had no it had precedence sort of, but it didn't have like a specific precedent. I mean, it
Yeah,
it
I
creates
get
it creates its own universe. And
From
it's
being a
bold.
player, yeah, I get it.
And it's yeah, exactly. And it's got like its own storyline, whatever.
Yes.
The thing is that even in just the first Halo and the second Halo, you know, there's so much world building in terms of these, like, you know, what do you call it, consoles, like these things that you tap, like all the little ancient robots that are buzzing around, and like there's so much potential there. And it tells you that this world that you're in is so old. It's so fucking old. And then you've got Master Chief, who is, in a sense, it's like our modern AI and our modern technology have sort of come.
You really? Oh, see,
No,
you
what I'm
just made
saying.
it interesting now.
I'm saying we've come face to face now. With
Microsoft had a patent. You know what Copilot
hold on. You're gonna throw me off. You gotta hold
Sorry.
it for a second.
They used to have Microsoft Cortana. It was now it's now.
I know. I
Microsoft
remember.
Copilot.
I remember.
All right.
But I never used it. But so we have Master Chief. We have his AI. We've got the super soldier of the fucking, like the ultimate.
Right.
And now we're bumping up against things that are ancient that seem to be at that same level or greater. The thing is,
okay,
we already have established.
I'm loving the segue. Here we go.
We've already established in this universe that things can happen, like that are relevant. Hold on, that things are relevant. We've already established in this story that things can be relevant, even though they were initiated millions of years ago. And at the same time, we've introduced a character that is essentially impervious to all sorts of damage that would normally. And he has this AI that's a little bit unique, who's like able to tap into all this stuff and not lose her mind or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but hold on. And now, here's my question: why couldn't you stretch the story of literally Master Chief, who got us all interested in this story? What is limiting you in that universe from stretching his journey out indefinitely? Like, because it's like people get in cryo sleep, we're dealing with deep space. It feels like a very modern and sort of woke intervention to say, like, well, we're going to introduce like a team now and we're going to gradually phase out Master Chief. It's more like you could have built this like the Alien series where it's like, oh, they wake up in hyperspace and it's been 200 years. And it's like you could just, like, Master Chief can go anywhere and do anything and be any, like,
so why divert off the whole? Why divert off the?
Well, why try to say he's aging out? Like, oh, Master Chief by now he would be like 55. It's like, fuck that, dude. We don't care about that. Like, Master Chief, maybe he's got some serum, some fucking thing. Like, maybe it's something about him as a Spartan where he doesn't age. Like, let's introduce a fucking.
I have a.
I'm not saying vampire, but
you.
like, go ahead.
So earlier we were talking about kind of the state of the world, right? Yeah. And you mentioned Civil War.
Yeah.
I wanted to really tap in on that, and I didn't get a chance to because we somehow diverted into a totally different. I think we went to Halo.
Which is not a bad thing.
So we're gonna segue from Halo, because I feel like Halo is relevant somehow, because I'm a gamer, but I it's still been in my head because I know you have great thoughts on this, and that's why I kind of want to get into it, or want to ask you.
Maybe not.
You mentioned Civil War, so I know for the simple fact that you mentioned Civil War, I know you've been looking into a lot of different conspiracy theories or whatever you want to call them, but you've been looking into that because I've read it, I've seen it, I've considered it, I agree with some of it. So, like, kind of like what do you think? Like, what do you think of the whole, like, even and this can be debatable, but like you've got the Charlie Kirk assassination. And you've also got a lot of conspiracy theories behind, like, was it government plot? Was it this? Was it that? Was it the Civil War to, divide people? Like, what is going on behind the scenes, honestly? What have you read? I know have you looked into it or no?
Well, I've looked into everything. I mean, but it's like what you retain and what these. I'm not saying everything, like all the data,
right?
But like just the cursory
and
glance.
just to say, I don't actually support that the whole assassination thing. I don't celebrate it. I don't like it. That's sickening to me. But I mean, there are other things to be considered, like. But I do come from, like, I'm very much like a skeptic, right? So
when I'm coming from that viewpoint of conspiracy theorists, and it's like, oh, it was the government, they did this, they did that. It's like, okay, sure, all well and good, but at the same time, is the government really gonna have? And there's another argument for this, but then you can make another argument after this. So to me, it's irrelevant, and in my mind, this is what sticks and makes most sense to me. Is the government really going to assassinate Charlie Kirk? Like, was that in their intent? And not only that, like, so you're telling me the government sat there and said, hey, you know what? He's becoming too much for one side. Let's assassinate him. Let's make it look really sloppy. Let's make it look really amateurish. So then we have 1,000 questions that have to be answered, and we can't answer any of them. Yeah. Like, I feel like if the government, and maybe this is me watching too many assassin movies, or maybe this is me watching too much, like, whatever, but like, I feel like if the government is actually going to do an assassination attempt, it's not going to look sloppy. There's gonna be a scapegoat. There's gonna be more than one person that's involved. There's gonna be suspected.
Yeah, exactly.
No, let me finish though. With this case though, so let's say it's a government assassination. So you're telling me that the government's going to have some random person be we'll call him a scapegoat or be whatever. You're gonna tell me that they're gonna have some random person go in and say, hey, I'm gonna go assassinate Charlie Kirk on this day from 200 yards away. And I think the issue with that is where my issue comes from is that a lot of people are like, oh, 200 yards, he did this, that's got to be I've seen this, it's got to be a professional. And it's like, I live in Park Rapids, Minnesota. There are 12-year-old and 11-year-old kids, including myself, who can go and shoot a deer from 200 yards. That's not far, and it's not hard to learn. You could learn to do that, especially if you're a smart person and not like, you know, handicapped, that you could learn to do that within a day, within a few hours. You could practice that, and you could do it, and you can go out and you could initiate it. So why would the government hire somebody so inexperienced to make it look so sloppy, to leave so many questions unanswered? If the government was going to do it, that guy would have been included, but he wouldn't have been one to take the shot. The dude who was going to take the shot would have been a professional assassin, and he would have been a mile or more out, and he would have taken the shot, and it probably would have been more accurate, and he would have gotten away, and then this dude would have fallen down as a scapegoat. Instead, it's become, oh, this guy did it, it's the government that did it, and it was a really accurate shot. It's like, no, because it's not an accurate shot, because if you're going for a kill, you're not shooting somebody anywhere below the head.
All right. May I respond?
Yes, I'm waiting.
First of all, we don't know what accurate means, because some people have said.
No, that's not true though.
No, but hold on, because they have said. I have seen things that. Okay. And again, I haven't verified this, so I'm just.
I know you've seen things. This is why I brought it up, because I know you have a good.
I've seen things where it's like. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the Mossad is famous for when they assassinate people, they aim for the neck. So what I'm saying is that if that's accurate to them, then that's accurate. You know, they did what they wanted to do. Maybe they were like a few centimeters off from where. Maybe they were going for the middle of the throat and they got the edge of the throat, which is what I've seen or heard.
Just coming from somebody who's going to make a kill shot, you're not. The thought process behind it is you're not aiming for the neck. And
I know,
so
I understand. But what I'm saying is, like, that's a big, because that's conventional wisdom. But that's conventional wisdom. So what I'm saying, no, but hold on.
That's the argument. That's the whole argument that I was saying.
No.
I was going to argue myself with, though.
But exactly. But think about Mossad, if they're trying to do psychological warfare on even other intelligence agencies, where it's like they get a reputation for when they take somebody out, there's a signature, because it's like, we're so accurate that when we aim for this spot, we're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're doing it to send a message because it challenges conventional wisdom.
Okay,
even
sure,
in
challenge conventional wisdom.
no, but I'm saying that's why they do it, because it sends a stronger message. I mean, I'm
Right,
just saying
but at
if
the
they
same
do,
time, it's
if
like-
they do. And I
I
just
know,
threw
but-
out I just threw out Mossad because that's one theory, but I don't even think that's
But let's think the government's doing it. All right, let's say the government is doing it. Let's just say it was.
But what
let's say
is
it
the
was
government?
Trump.
I don't think no, but it's yeah, but
You
hold
know what
on.
it is? We know
Rogue
what it is.
agencies.
Hey, let's
No,
go
but-
back to the wrestling times. What is it? It's the NWO, baby.
Yeah, but I'm saying okay, yeah, it's yeah, but whatever, exactly. But I'm saying that there, even if we take a more a conventional stance about what the government is and how it operates, we have tons and tons of examples of rogue elements doing things. So it's like, okay, if it's the FBI, no, say like let's say it's a coordination between one team in the FBI and one team in the CIA, and then Trump knows nothing about it, but it's still coming from the government. That's also a possibility. Like we have to consider that. Like we might be dealing with a world where it's not so much big grand conspiracies as little power groups that get together and they form their little clique,
Right.
and then they go, we're going to do something, and then here's the thing, because it's coming from these little rogue agents in the government, the main government, like Trump and the people that are not doing that shit,
they get the
no, but I'm
blame.
saying, but they also have an incentive to cover it up because they're like, it would make us look like we don't
they
have
have to.
control.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So we don't have to assume.
I get what you're saying, but that's all too much. We're thinking government. We know
it's
government is smart. We understand.
Yeah, but
it,
government is many things. It's many agencies. It's
That's
many
what I'm
people,
saying,
and
though,
they're
but
all
okay.
competing and they're doing things.
Well, the biggest question though that arises from it, because I personally don't think it had anything to do with the government. Like from my own personal perspective,
I might not either, but like the thing is, like if it's one, Clinton, let me just say, what if it's okay? Let's put it this way: what if you got a rogue little FBI unit or CIA unit that's like four or five people? Because if one, like let's take the official story, if one random jackass can do this, then 5 trained CIA people can do something like this, right? Obviously, they can do this and also manipulate the perception of the event. But I'm saying, like, no, hold on. If it turns out that it's 5 or 6 like rogue, autonomous CIA agents, do you even call that the government? That's the thing.
No.
Like in my mind, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you say I don't think the government did it, I would probably say, yeah, I agree. But that doesn't mean that elements within the government didn't do it. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be careful about that because it swallows that whole category.
Well, you're right, and that is proves without saying that yes, that is. I don't need to even elaborate on it. That you sum that up. Yeah, you are correct in that. But at the same time, like, let's say it even wasn't like, let's say it wasn't the government, right? Like, FBI, CIA.
And not even the whole, but I'm saying not even the whole agency, just a unit.
Right. I know what you're saying. Like, it could even be in agents within who aren't even anything, right? Like, it could be not even labelized as anything, and they're still in the agency, right? Or they're still within some. So you could limit it, and you could go down and down and down the rabbit hole with that. But what I'm saying is like what happens with that is okay. So like. First of all, like, was this guy really established with that? Because according to like the records and all this other stuff, he had he was a computer engineer, or he was an engineer. I want to say it was an engineer of some sort. I can't remember if it was computer, it was some sort of engineer for the background for the guy who did this. I can't remember what engineer, but he was an engineer of some sort. I want to say it was computer engineering at the school that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at. That's what he went to school there for some sort of engineering. So he was a smart dude, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, so did this guy really get involved with some sort of side agency who was part of the government, that they were rogue and they did this? And at the same time, like, if that's going to happen, I feel like if somebody's going to do that, say somebody like me or anybody in the world, right? Like, and they have this warped view and they want to go out and they want to assassinate somebody, right? Like, you're going to have a much more, like,
you're gonna have a hell of a lot more game plan than what this guy had. Like, there was no game plan behind this, really. Like, when you think about it, like, there was nothing planned out. Like, and if it was going to be by some sort of even side agency or sub-government or whatever you want to call it, right? Like, if it was supposed to be some sort of semi-professional hit, like, there's going to be some sort of, like, professionalism to it. And to me, there was nothing really professional about it. Like, it was in the middle of the day. Granted, okay, that can happen, you know, with anybody and anywhere for anything, but it's like the middle of the day. The dude was, I mean, many videos even found the dude sitting on a roof, like he was seen multiple times.
Yeah.
His car was there for many hours, which wasn't discovered until later, which can also this can lead into a whole nother issue, like, why was this car discovered and why wasn't it fucking known about until 3 days later? Like, there's a lot of weird things that happen, so I get both sides of the whole thing, but, like, I feel like at the same time, with all that being said and all the shit that you can explain that you know and do not know, like, it just goes to show, like, how sloppy it really was. So if it really was even if it wasn't side government or sub-government or whatever you want to classify it as, like, don't you think there would be a little more professionalism behind it? And you can't, and don't counter-argument me with the fact that, well, maybe they wanted to make it look that way so nobody suspected it to be that. Because then that's like what I said, that then it gets into a whole another rabbit hole of stuff.
Well, okay, let's take the rabbit hole for a second. Instead of going, no, but hold on. Instead of going,
why
no, but
you
hold
gotta
on.
go into the
Because that's the only out here. But just
Yeah.
but hold
Okay.
on. Reframe it a little bit.
Okay.
Instead of it being like, they wanted it to be sloppy. Like, what did you say? They wanted it to be sloppy to
make it look like, oh, it wasn't government.
Right.
That's what I basically
Right.
was saying.
But the thing is that the zeitgeist is primed to, like, okay, if I do a song.
Okay, what is zeitgeist? Like, I get it.
Like,
what is
the general feeling that you're sensing from the public. The spirit of the times.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Now okay. I just wanted to clarify.
No. It's a good one. Fuck.
No. Oh. Spirit of the time. The general consensus of the zeitgeist. The Charlie Kirk assassination. It's not the government. Maybe it's something else. Where are we at? That's what we're talking about. I know, dude. You had.
It was a point.
Ah. No.
Hold on.
Fucking apples, bro. Swear to God.
I can't. If it goes too far in another direction,
That's not it. Zeitgeist, Charlie Kirk, government.
Well, I just think, like, okay.
Rabbit hole. You were digging into the rabbit hole that.
Yes.
Subdivision.
But I'm saying, like, there is a scenario in which they do things, like, let's say you have even a larger conspiracy. Let's say.
Sure.
They do things that are meant to elicit a certain sort of response. So it's like,
right,
yeah. But so it's like, it's not far-fetched to think.
Well,
but of course, if they're gonna do something, like, let's just say, like, you and I are planning, and we're in the government.
This is a very. You gotta think of this though on the grand scale. Like, this is a Martin Luther King type of assassination.
Exactly. But that's why you want to make it have as many. Basically, like, okay, the fact that it's even as weird as it is. Yes. Already is suspicious, because it actually shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like the story.
Well, you know what?
But hold on, the story on its own is like, you make a good point about the story being like, the main story is like, he actually didn't prepare as much as a professional would, and it was sloppy. But there's also a bunch of other stuff, like, why does the only footage that we have, even though that camera was trained on the spot where he was, why don't we have the footage where he's actually sitting there and he makes the shot? We only, like, and we know that the FBI got that footage,
This is true, but you've got to remember though.
I'm just saying, like, why? It's just, it's so easy for that to be.
Here, because this is what we're used to. This is what people have been brainwashed to think, that everything that happens and goes on, it's like Hollywood movie.
No,
but you see a
no,
movie,
I'm not saying that.
But if you see a movie, you're going to see where he took the shot. You're going to see where he took the shot from. You're going to see why. You're going to see where. You're going to see when. You're going to see everything. And so when it happens, right?
No. I reject this premise.
Okay.
I rejected it only on the point. It's a good premise, but it's like it doesn't address my point, which is that there's a basic security camera. No, I'm saying there's literally a camera that we know, like the same footage, the same camera. It shows the exact spot, but they only start the footage when he's running away.
I didn't see that footage though, so I don't know what footage. The only footage I see,
they have rooftop.
From people who were recording.
No. There's a security camera that was on a parking garage behind the school building, and the FBI released this. It's on their website. They released this thing where it's like a fisheye, so it captures the entire roof and where he jumped down. So if you ever saw any footage where he was like jumping down, that was from that same camera, except they zoomed in on that part just so you could see that, right?
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
The thing is, the officially released FBI thing, the footage starts like at least, I mean, maybe less than a minute, but it's like the footage starts where he's running on the roof after he's done the assassination. In other words, they had a view of the roof, and they had this footage that is basically like an ongoing, it's just recording. And they chose to cut and release a segment that never shows that exact guy who's running actually doing, sitting there like prone. It would be him from behind, so you would see him in a prone position. You'd be looking at the bottom of his feet while he's laying flat. We don't see that. And I'm just saying that, like, that's not about like, oh, I don't trust the government, I don't trust what they put out. It's more like, we know that you have the footage. Why would you not just throw the whole thing on there? Like, we want to see how he got up there. We want to see, like, when he was in You start it with this whole dramatic moment where it's already after he killed him.
Right. So they're selling the point that, okay, this is here, this is where they're trying to sell the point that this is where the shot was taken from. All right. They're not necessarily trying to prove the point that this is the dude that took the shot, but chances are it's most likely this guy, right? And then you've also got to.
It is, but why would you cut it like that?
Wait, hold on. So that's
saying
the part
I agree with you.
That's the part I missed. So where did they cut it at? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm saying you can go on YouTube and you can find, like, you won't find anything where they have the full video. I'm just saying, like,
no, I know that. Okay,
let's imagine that he's laying there and he takes the shot.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we imagine that he gets up, folds up his gun, somehow hides it.
Where am I looking at though? What perspective am I getting it from?
From behind.
According to your video.
Like,
so I'm behind him.
Well, Charlie Kirk is in front of him, right? So you're looking.
And I'm like the camera's seeing from behind the shooter.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's looking at it's looking at the building that he was on top of from behind.
Yep.
And we can also see in the same footage, we can see where he jumps down off the roof, and gets onto the grass and then starts running. On the far right. On the far right, you see him jump down from the roof. On the far left,
does he drop down to another building, or does he drop down on the right from the same building that he was stationed on before he shot?
Same building he was stationed on.
Okay, so there's a ladder of some sort that he was able to get up on.
Yeah, maybe. We don't see it. We never see it, and we don't see it.
If he got down from that same building, there had to have been a way to get up it.
Exactly.
Because if
we don't have that. We don't have that footage.
Okay.
And
we really don't?
Sense. No, it's not up there. Nobody has any footage of the guy getting up there or being up there and shooting, but we have the footage that the FBI released from that camera from behind, which should have a view of the
that's all fair though. We also do have footage though from random TikTokers or random people who did notice a person on a roof.
Yes, there was a shooter on the roof, definitely. But I'm just saying, like.
So they do have it from different perspectives. So this probably proves.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying. I understand where you're going with this. This maybe even proves your point even more because they do have footage of him even before he's on the roof. He's in the high school and he's walking up a pair of stairs, and they have footage of that for my camera.
Oh yeah, I saw that. But I thought that was at the subway or something. It didn't look like.
I don't. Maybe it was.
Maybe it is in the
don't
school.
know. I didn't.
You're right. I didn't know.
I don't know.
Probably was a school.
Somebody correct me, but
I don't
but
know either.
to say that though, like, I mean, sure, okay, so they don't have. You could give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there wasn't a camera stationed in an area to show somebody going up.
No. But what I'm saying is, forget the going up for a second.
Okay.
They have the same camera that they show where they have footage where he's running on the roof and then jumping down. That camera has a view of where he would have been prone and shooting, but they cut it after he actually made the shot. So they cut the fucking...
Right, but why is it, what does that have to do with anything then? Because
we don't know if the guy on the roof who jumped down is actually the same guy who made the shot or what he is. We don't know.
Okay, fair enough. But maybe they're just going based off of okay. So they have this footage. The guy's on the roof. They obviously don't need to show the fact that he got on the roof and did this. I
but,
get
but Clinton, there's been backlash on this, and the Trump administration always responds to backlash from the public. There's been backlash on the way the FBI has released things and treated this, such that it would be very easy for them to just go like, okay, yeah, that's why we cut it, but here's the full video. But they still haven't done that. So that by itself is a little bit weird. Like, you know, I don't really have an opinion on this one way or the other. I'm just trying to point out the fact that, like, these things can be conspiracies and be very counterintuitive. Like, you know, in the end of the day, if you take a big zoom back, if you look at the whole thing, it's so weird. And I think I'm actually agreeing with you in a lot of ways. I think what I'm trying to say is, like, in a sense, I actually think you're right. But if you're gonna, like, the whole thing just looks too weird. Like, when things look that weird overall, like, most things don't look that weird, I don't think. Like, most things is like, you could look up any random person who's like a person who's been murdered or whatever, and you look at the story and it's like, oh, 5 people saw this happen, this happened.
Yeah, but then again, you're looking at a news story and you're looking at somebody who is, not to demean them or say anything, but they're a normal person, right? This guy murdered his wife. This person killed this person, whatever, and it goes on and on. It's in the news. This one, though, you got to remember is an escalated kill because he was a prominent person within, part of the government. Like, he was he was very much a prominent person in as a political figure, like you stated before. He
had influence even with politicians.
Yeah,
and the president.
Very much a big young influencer. So I can see like the conspiracy theory sides of it, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, after everything is said and done, and I mean, you have amateur videos on TikTok showing the same dude on the roof.
Yeah.
I mean,
but again, though, it's But the thing is, like, but you're.
Like, if you're gonna do this, why make it look so sloppy? That's my skeptic side.
I know,
so
but that's
convince me otherwise. Why you're gonna make something so profound look so sloppy?
My response to that would be, I don't know how you can make a murder not look sloppy in the year 2025. I mean, like, it's gonna look sloppy no matter what you do.
Argue that though, because I know.
No, but the odds are so.
I get how it works.
I know, but I'm saying this. The odds are so stacked against you that I guess what I've been trying to say this whole time is like, what you okay? Yeah. No, that's what I've been trying to say. But you gotta let me finish.
Yeah.
No.
Let me finish though.
No, but you gotta let me finish.
Okay, go for it. I'm sorry. Go for it.
Sometimes when things look sloppy,
What is on my screen?
I don't know, but there's times where, like, for artistic reasons, I make things more noisy or more sloppy or whatever as part of the thing.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, go on. Keep going. I like this. No, I like this. Keep going.
I'm just saying, like, sometimes there's a storytelling element even to this.
Yeah, but do you?
No, but I'm just saying, like, because of course, like, here's what I think you mentioned early on that I wanted to respond to, which I think is very true. I also like, so I think what you're not realizing is that our views are in a weird way incongruous, which is
I get it. No, I realize.
No, but I'm saying, like, because if somebody really wanted to, like, if somebody from the government as such, really wanted to take out Charlie Kirk, they could just literally, like, put a little drop of something in his tea. Some agent could walk by. So but here's what I'm saying. Since we know that, that still doesn't mean that, like, those agencies, like, or somebody who's like, well, we have a thing, we're gonna do this because it would be this, da 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 da. We don't know. Let's just assume for a second. There's also a thing where they're like, well, we could just drop a thing into his tea, but also we could make a big spectacle about it. We could also make a big show.
Then here comes the Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, just because
that's what
something
this all leads into, which was the whole basis of what I asked.
Just because something looks sloppy does not mean it was not on purpose.
I know, but that I also stated that before I even. But then you get into the fact that they make it look sloppy on purpose so it doesn't seem so obvious.
No, but I'm not saying. I don't even know the reason. You're assuming a reason. I'm not saying.
I'm not assuming. I'm just basing it. You know what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get away from some sort of Hollywood facade.
Yeah, but I think that's a good
thing. People think that well, he did this and he because they get in because a lot of the conspiracy theories you see it's like it's because of the conspiracy theories that you see it's because of kind of how sloppy it was. And it begs many questions. So I mean, then again, then you present the argument of, well, obviously it was the government because they made it look like it's a total conspiracy theory. So it's like it's one of those things that you can never figure out, and it's going to be one of those things where it was the same thing as like the JFK assassination, where they're never going to find out who the shooter really was. And I think that's where it's going to stand as far as the test of time, because when you read it in history books, there's not going to be any. Oh, hold on. I don't want to continue because I feel like you have something pressing to. Rebuttal.
No. I'm just thinking. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Okay. So I can continue then?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I just feel like it's going to go down in history as, well, this is really going to throw my topic of conversation off, actually. Because now I'm going to get my own conspiracy head. Because here we go.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is going to go down in history. This is extremely important. This is a very good point to make. This is going to go down in history as a turning point in the history of the United States. And I don't mean that, I don't take that lightly, because JFK, I wouldn't even necessarily consider a turning point. I would view more Martin Luther King as a turning point, and just based on
I disagree, but we can go over that later.
But just based on the state of
just
United
about that particular
States.
point. Yeah, go ahead.
Which one, Luther King or JFK?
JFK not being a turning point.
Then you're probably right, because I know nothing about it, so
okay.
I do apologize for any.
No, but don't apologize. Go on.
But I just view it as like JFK because it's such a conspiracy theory, and he was already such a prominent figure. Granted, yes, maybe it was a turning point, but then you have Martin Luther King, who, in my mind, is even bigger than JFK in terms of what you learned in school. At least that's what they made it out to be.
I mean, as a cultural figure, yes.
Yeah, and now you have Charlie Kirk, who was very much a cultural figure.
Yeah.
With the way the state of the USA is now, and
the assassination of somebody who is, you know, from his viewpoint, and he's assassinated for it, and the fact that the name of his whole organization is Turning Point, kind of has a lot of questions to be answered now.
Well, then you start to get into more like metaphysical.
I'm getting into real conspiracy shit.
Yeah.
Did he? No, I gotta start now. Here, I gotta go against everything I just said.
Jesus Christ.
Did he present himself as a fucking martyr?
He might have.
Holy shit. This could run deeper than anybody ever knows, dude.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, and also like this is funny because this is where like I back off a little bit.
His name, the whole name of his organization is Turning Point USA. Let's put two and two together. Turning Point. I'm assassinated. I'm a huge political influencer, and now I'm dead from a leftist radical person. And that's the whole battle. I know. The Civil War presents.
But bro,
but
Clinton,
that's deep. What?
Fuck off.
Am I getting too deep, right?
No, but it's more like.
Am I getting too Cole Randall on this, or what?
You can also look at it from a standpoint of if you were Charlie Kirk and you had an organization where you were like, man, we really got to turn the corner, like, you know, things got to change.
I wouldn't want to die.
No, but you would say to yourself, like, hey, what's a good name for our organization? You'd be like, man, this is going to be a big turning point, you know, like.
Yeah, but can we not both agree? Like, I get what you're saying, and yours is makes way more sense than mine, but you're going to say, yeah, okay. But, I mean, can we not agree that it's a little coincidental?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But your point makes sense, mine doesn't, but.
No, don't be so fucking self-effacing. Your point does make sense. Your point does make sense.
But that's the fucking coincidence. How coincidental is it that the name? He could have started that organization as a young person, not knowing this and growing and becoming some influential person. And he could have started it as feeling like himself as a fucking martyr, and then he finally executed what he started.
So sort of like a law of attraction kind of like negative side.
Yeah, not even in a negative way, but not even.
Yeah,
that.
But it is. Like, it's more like a negative law of attraction.
Maybe he saw himself as a god when he started that, and he martyred himself because he spoke. I can't even get into it. This brings up too many offensive, controversial topics. Because if you get into it, he was a man of God, and if we know of Jesus Christ, he is a martyr for God. And if you go from there, then you have Charlie Kirk, who was a conservative, who was this, who was that, who was everything that he represented, but he was very much a man of faith and a man of God. And now he martyrs himself to represent the side? Like, dude.
Yeah.
This could have...
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you're...
It's huge. Like,
but here's the thing. This is also like, then you have to take a step back.
I'm getting off on a crazy fucking rant.
Yeah, but you also then have to go back and step back and say, oh, is this what I'm supposed to feel about this?
Yeah, but you can't present that.
You see what I'm saying? No.
It's manipulative, though.
No, it's not, because that's how I look at these things. That's why I'm like, I can talk about every scenario because I'm like, but I agree.
Now, Clinton,
can I just tell you, in all honesty,
when I was on a subject of this, and then you said, well, how are you supposed to look at it? And then all of a sudden it brings up these feelings of emotion based on how I'm feeling at that present time. So, but dude,
fair enough.
But see, that's why I like having you as a person who is like the other me.
And it's same, but like just think about what I'm actually saying. I'm not saying that I believe that is the case.
No, I know.
I'm just saying that like we have to consider it, and then once you actually allow yourself to consider that, even though you're like, oh god, that's manipulative and crazy.
Well, that's what just happened.
But I'm just saying, once you allow yourself to consider that, and then you sort of like, you know, you put it back in the blender of everything else you've been thinking.
Are you trying to manipulate me right now?
No, I'm just saying that like I'm not. I guess I am on some level because I'm trying to convince you.
Yeah, you fucker.
What's the difference between convince and manipulate? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm trying to manipulate you because I'm not. I don't have an intention.
Do you know the difference? I can tell you the difference.
Tell me the difference. I mean,
the difference between convince and manipulate is if you're trying to convince somebody, you're doing it out of moral standards. If you're trying to manipulate somebody, you're doing it out of a motive with some sort of you're doing it with a motive to harm the other person.
That's a very good definition, actually. Yeah. Shit. That's one for the fucking books, dude. Well said.
Is it?
I think, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate it.
No, seriously, like that's like clip that, send it to the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! Hey, dang, been brush the dirt off my shoulders real quick. Shit.
I mean, no, that's a very
Appreciate
good point. That's a very good point.
Are you
dude.
trying to manipulate me even more so now?
I forgot what we were talking about before that, but I agree with that point. You
I
just
don't
made.
remember, bro.
Just
We're talking
basically,
about Charlie Kirk assassination.
just basically this.
No, I
okay?
get you. We're back on track.
So I'm always suspicious. I guess what I'm trying to say is like I put that on
I know.
you, but it's because every time I find myself, and this is why I think
Questioning
like,
things.
no, but it's more like when I'm acting
So here's
as,
can I
no,
can I
hold,
start
no,
before you
no,
start?
no, you can't because I'll
So
forget.
you know where I'm coming from? Because you know the difference between you and I. Can I?
No. I
Okay,
gotta
go.
finish. I gotta at least get this point out.
All right, fair enough. Go.
When I'm working as, and I don't want to say this in a way that you like.
You're fine. Just say it. I don't care.
If I'm making music or something,
Yes.
I'm working as what I consider an artist. Okay.
Yes.
My whole philosophy is that it's not even really a philosophy. It's like to really do it right, you basically have to understand both sides of something. Like it has to be like I understand why women feel oppressed, but I also understand why men are turning into incels and blah blah blah. Like it's like you have to
Yes.
embody both realities at the same time.
Yes. That
my-
makes sense to me.
So
I
what
get
I'm
that.
saying
I get
is,
that.
so my perspective on these like conspiracy things is like I'm gonna have a critical view, and I'm not gonna take people's word for it. That includes the government. That also includes.
Well, that means you're a skeptic.
But I'm saying that includes random weirdos on the internet. But at the
Yeah,
same
but that's
time,
good for you though.
but on the same time, like I have to figure out a heretic where I'm like, okay, for me, this is weird, and I'm not gonna deny the reality
Yeah.
that it's weird. But I'm not gonna make an
Okay.
assumption and say like,
But
oh, I'm gonna tell
then
you,
again,
Clinton,
like,
it's the Jews or it's the whatever. It's more like
Right.
I'm just gonna say like I think it's weird, but I actually am not saying it was the government. But I'm also trying to point out like
Yeah.
it could be elements within the government. It could be,
Sure.
you know, all these kind of things, and that's why I'm sort
Yeah.
of agnostic about this stuff. But I'm also interested in it.
Yeah. Well, no,
But I don't think we have to take a strong stance on this. You know?
No,
It's just,
well, you're right. No, I agree. I agree with that. I think that because I think you from you know me, and I'm gonna base my reaction and like I'll know if you really truly knew me based off this question from your facial reaction. So be ready. You know me as very much a skeptic person.
yeah.
I've
dude.
always very much been a skeptic. You think,
I
right?
know,
Like,
but I don't think we would be friends if you weren't a skeptic. See what I'm saying? Because you would be Colton Storseth if you weren't a skeptic. That's the thing. No,
Fuck
and I'm
you.
not. No, but I'm not. But I mean, like, but think about it this way: Colton Storseth is a smart guy. He knows a lot. He's like intelligent, blah blah blah. But he's not a skeptic. And I'm not saying you would literally be like that. But I'm just saying, like,
I know, but
that's a guy who's like, you know, and it's a good example for you
stuck
because you
in
actually
his ways and
Yeah.
isn't willing or able to accept
exactly.
other sorts of thoughts.
And you've never
or
been like that.
theories
And
or-
dude, you have like conquered the fucking, like, I mean, if there was anybody that you should just take as an authority, it would have been your grandpa. Like the fact that you disagreed with that guy about stuff is like, oh man, that's a free thinker. Because Dean is a forceful.
But
person.
you know.
I mean, maybe he's
you know
he's a
what?
nice guy. I don't
You know
mean it
what?
like that. But
I'm gonna start here, and I'm not gonna float your boat too much, but I'm gonna float it anyways, a little bit, just not as much as you'd like. All right, so don't get all narcissistic about this, because I know exactly
Maybe
who
I
you
should-
are and how you are. I know exactly
should
who
buy
you
that.
are. Yeah, I know exactly who you are and how you are, and don't tell me any differently. You and I are like two peas in a pod. We share the same brain, just in two completely different ways, which doesn't even make sense. Do you understand how fucked up that is? Do you understand? Like, you and I think in so many similar ways, but at the same time, we think in
we have so many different morals and values that we think in a completely different way, and that's an important thing to take in as an individual in life if you can realize that.
Yeah,
but
especially if you think that people who disagree with you are evil or horrible or whatever. It's like
because you can't live that way. If you live that way your whole life, you're a miserable person. Like, if you want to spend your life hating somebody because they don't agree with you, then, well, so be it. Whatever. You know, I've met people like that. And it's like, well, you know what? Go ahead. Live your life like that.
But
like,
you know what's funny is the people that I like to hang out with people, honestly, where it's like, there's going to be a little bit of disagreement.
You like to hang out with people. You like to engage with people that have a discrepancy with something that you have a strong feeling in, but at the same time, the reason you have that connection with them is because you're able to connect with them on a level that you're able to not necessarily convince them, but to make them think. You like to make people think, and you connect with people when you can make them think about something. Like, you don't care if they're your friend or not. You don't care if they agree with you. Your whole objective as a person is to make them think, and that's what you get rewarded from, regardless of whether they agree with you or not. I feel like.
Shit, that's.
Is that deep?
I feel vulnerable right now. That's interesting. That's actually not a bad point. Shit, that's interesting.
Don't fucking
point.
gaslight me here, fucker.
No, I swear to God, that's actually like, yeah, that's pretty intense actually. That's a good point.
Is it?
Well, it's intense. No, but it's intense in the sense like it is a layer of, like you just described like a very strong layer of like how I make choices. But it doesn't, of course it leaves out the layer of sentimentality and nostalgia.
Bro, come on, Kenny.
No, but and love, you know what I'm saying? But like you just hit on a layer of my personality that is like pretty deep, and it informs a lot of choices. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that's how I feel in every situation, but it's like that's like a choice-making personality that you just described. To put it, I don't know, I shouldn't use the word personality like it's this separate thing, but it's interesting. Because everybody is multifaceted, right? Like you have you that is the way you are when you're
okay.
But if you and your sister are hanging out at wherever, like it's just you and Veronica, and you guys are sitting there. Yeah. You're not the exact same like personality.
Right.
Even if you're authentic, you're just not the same because you carry a bunch of different feelings and baggage and projections and like. Can
I let you know something though before you end this?
Yeah.
Her and I are very much the same in a lot of ways, actually.
I believe that.
You know who we should get on? Veronica.
We should. I would love that.
No. Listen to me. That I don't say this about a lot of people besides you and probably Veronica. And I'm being an all like fucking like blatant like fitness layer honesty. Between you and Veronica, you two are the two people I probably trust the most with like sorts of viewpoints that I have and how I'm feeling. And if I were to ask you a personal question or ask Veronica a personal question and you gave me your perspective on it, I would take yours and Veronica's, I would take your guys' consideration more seriously than anybody else's in my entire life. Like, that's how I feel about you guys, because you are a brother to me, and I know we both have layers.
Ogres have layers, right? That Shrek would say.
I know. Fucking A. You and your dad jokes, bro. Just make a new account with just dad jokes. God. All right, but
but I'm saying it's poetic. No, but I'm saying it's poetic because we're ogres. Like.
That's why I get it. Just stop. I get it. Nobody else is gonna get that unless they're 37. All right, but no. Listen though, like, no, I'm on a fucking real level here.
I was on
between
a real
you
level.
and, yeah, I get it. Between you and Veronica, you are the two most influential people in my life.
I appreciate it.
And
I appreciate being included in that.
Well, you should be, because you've been around me my whole life.
More or less.
More or less. We've had discussions that no other friendship or brothers have ever probably had in their entire life.
Probably no human beings on Earth, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Don't gaslight yourself. Just get out of here with that. No, I'm being.
Now I'm gaslighting myself.
No, on a serious level though.
Are you trying to manipulate me?
You're trying to gaslight me by making me think that I'm trying to manipulate you.
You're trying to manipulate me by gaslighting me into manipulating myself.
Okay. All right. I'm on a serious level right now.
I hear you, man.
All gaslighting aside, all manipulation aside, like if you want to manipulate me, you can manipulate me. That would turn me on. If you want to do that, fucking do it. But my point is, right now, is that so
me and Veronica,
have a very believe it or not, we have very similar viewpoints, and we have a strong connection in certain things.
Yeah.
A connection that I have with her is a very much a similar connection that when I talk to you that I have with you. But I have much more of a connection with you than anybody else that I've ever had in my entire life, because we can connect on a very intellectual, intelligence basis, right? So
plus we have plenty of weird shared experiences.
Yeah,
which doesn't
exactly. Let's not tone this down. Okay, I'm being very real raw with you right now. From a friend perspective, like for you, Cole, like I know that there's probably a lot of things you struggle with, which is I feel like why you like you have this need to like talk and reach out to me, and I love that because I can provide that for you, and that's something that I have that same feeling, and I don't get it from a lot of people, and I don't feel it, and I miss it. And so when I am able to talk to you and like express myself and like just interact with you, it's really like an out of body experience for myself. Like I love being able to connect with you. Like back in the day when you were doing your Sweden thing and you're doing your music, like I was happy for you, but at the same time, yeah, you know, I was kind of sad because it's like, man, what is Cole doing? I haven't heard from him in a while, you know. And now that we've been able to connect on a weekly basis, or you know, even on a monthly basis is okay with me. I don't care. Just being able to like communicate with you again and know that I have a friend. And it's not even a friend, dude. Like you're somebody in my life who's more than that. Than you know, it's unexplainable. You know, it's so I love being able to connect with you and like being able to share my thoughts, because, dude, I don't know how many different girlfriends I had, and I can't talk like this to a woman. Like I can't sit there, and it's no offense on any women. I apologize. You know, no offense on women, but I haven't had a lot of women who can connect with me on an intellectual basis. And not to say I'm smart by any means, because I'm very, very dumb in a lot of ways. But I'm very intellectual and intelligent in a lot of more ways. And like, the only person I can fucking connect with is you when it comes to like just being able to like talk about like random shit, just like have thoughts and like put myself out there and like be vulnerable, and like I feel comfortable with that with you, and I hope you know the feeling is mutual. I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
And I feel like I know it is, because you've come to me with questions that you've had or that you've asked or just like certain things that you've told me about where I knew that you were feeling vulnerable at the time, where I never expected to hear from you, because you've never come to me with those questions before. you asked me a few things before where it wasn't necessarily like super personal, but it was just certain things that I feel like to you would be personal, to me maybe not so much, just because I'm so close to you. But like, yeah, you've asked me certain things, and I've responded, and just lately you've been very much like more involved with me, and I don't know if that's like I don't know what that's about. I like to think that it's something that you're missing, and I provide that for you, and I just always want to be able to do that for you because I need it too. But I just want you to know that, bro, all day, every day, man, whatever you need, I'm always here as much as I can be. Like, I ain't got a lot going on, but I'm always here, man. Like, I know you got your own things going on and your own personal issues. I do too. You know, I get it. But I just want to let you know that, like, whatever you have closest going on to you is like, I'm there 100% to support you as like the best brother you could ever have, or, you know, could hope to have.
Damn, dude.
Sorry, man.
Appreciate that,
I
man.
just want to let you know, man, I'm fucking there for you. I always have been.
Appreciate that, man.
And I'm one of those people who work on themselves. And I know when I was in my younger days and we had our falling outs and things like that, I didn't think of them very seriously. You know, the older I get, the more.
I mean, I didn't either, to be honest with you.
At the time, yeah. But taking responsibility for my actions, and remembering the things I said, and I remember them very vividly because it's something that has haunted me to this day about that, because I was so afraid of losing you as a best friend that's how much it affected me, because that's how much I appreciated you and respected you and liked you at that point in time. And like when you went off and did your Sweden thing and I didn't hear from you very often and all this stuff like that, that actually had a very huge mental effect on my personality. In terms of like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Not to put anything on you, because it's nothing now, because we've connected and we've reconnected, and it took some time. But I think we're finally back to the point where we can reconnect and it be normal. Like before, when we started talking, I think you can honestly admit, both you and I, that we're being real. Like when we first started talking, it was a little awkward. Do you not agree? It was different because we hadn't talked very much.
I mean, yeah, but also like, I mean, first of all, thank you for saying all that. But also at the same time,
anytime, brother.
I mean,
you know what?
Yes and no.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
like,
you know what, my
it's
goal
also
in
circumstance. It's just circumstances. It's like,
yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. And I
also,
knew, and I knew that though. Like I did take that against. I knew that. And
but I gotta tell you, I'm also at a phase in my life right now where it's like.
Can I not raise my hand right now?
No, but I've intentionally cut off a lot of external influences.
Yeah, I get it. But and that's what I realize, and that's what I know. Like I understand that. I get it. And the fact that I hear from you lately, and no pressure because I don't care, but the fact that I hear from you, like we've been talking, on every week or 2 weeks now, made it a ritual.
More or less.
I love that, and that's what I miss though, because we used to have that every day, right? We used to talk, but I don't care about that. I don't care. Just hearing, being able to hear from you and being able to connect with you again is important.
No, man, I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
The most important thing for me is that I don't really necessarily care about how I feel. I'm more about kind of like and you already know what I'm gonna say, but it's like, I want to know that Cole is doing well. And I know you are. Like I just want to. Well, in some circumstances, maybe you're struggling in some areas, and I get that. But I just want you to know that regardless of whatever your circumstances, I'm always here for you, man. And if there is anything going on that has been bothersome or whatever it is, I think I can probably provide like decent advice as a brother or as a friend. Yeah. I just want you to
honestly.
I just want you to know that, like, if there's anything that happens in your life where you're like, fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do, like, all you gotta do is talk to fucking Clinton, because I guarantee you, I've already been through it. I haven't been through the whole fucking making a lot of money, been successful. I don't get that part of it. I apologize for that. I mean, I can't relate to that, but I can relate to the fucking typical, like, my girlfriend, my wife, my daughter, my mom, my grandma, my this, my that. Like, I can relate to all that, man. I just, like, I think the most I've ever wanted, I think, from a relationship, especially with a friend, is, like, God, that's just how I feel like about everybody, though. Like, I just want to be able to help people. Like, I don't care how fucking miserable my life is, as long as somebody else is fucking happy. Hold on, with that being said, even though you're supposed to go an hour ago, I gotta pee really fucking bad.
No, this has gotta be it, dude. We gotta leave it on that note.
I gotta piss.
I'm gonna process that. I love you, man. And thank you. I'm gonna that's your William Wallace before the battle in Scotland.
This is my William Wallace, bro, because I gotta pee so bad that if it was my William Wallace, it would be a lot more involved than that, but I just want to let you know, man, take in whatever I said, whatever, for a grain of salt if you want. It doesn't matter, but I meant it all, but I gotta pee.
I love you, brother. Piss, and we talk soon, all right?
I gotta pee.
It's 4:30. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
Buddy.
Love you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.